Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened last Friday?
I actually don't, sorry.
That's okay. There was this influential rich man named Kish, and his son Saul went looking for their lost asses one day.
Oh, yeah,
and then he
yeah.
got picked to be king.
That's right. And he ate really well.
Yeah.
Because they had a feast thing.
And he neglected to tell his uncle, because I feel like he didn't...
Oh, and then they drew lots, but he was already picked.
He was already picked.
There was that thing.
Yeah.
I don't, they've done that before where they've drawn lots, but they'd already picked the person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this for? Is this just a show?
Is it just to go through the ceremony?
Right? Yeah, I don't quite get it.
I don't either.
But yeah, so that happened.
So he's going to be king.
Yeah, king.
And that's what happened in 1 Samuel chapter 10.
Okay.
Or up through, anyway. I don't know if all of that happened in chapter 10, but up through chapter 10, that's where we're at.
Okay.
And so today we're going to read 1 Samuel chapter 11.
Sounds good. Let's do this.
Coolio. Okay, so before we start reading, I have to tell you two things.
Two things, huh?
Yeah, and one of them definitely should have went in the intro, and the other one, it doesn't matter.
Well, you fucked up. This isn't the intro.
I know. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
I did. I fucked up.
All right,
I gotta tell
with
you
that.
something.
What you got?
Okay, so the first thing is I forgot to tell everybody to go visit our merch store. So go do that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Sacrilegiousdiscourse.com.
Yeah.
And then from there, you just click the link and follow it to our merch store.
Yeah, go buy a thing.
Yeah, do that.
And then, okay, so that was that thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I just wanted to put it out there that we are in the middle of a huge rain, thunder, and lightning
So if there's like
storm.
a large crack of thunder,
yeah,
not our fault, guys.
Because like 10 minutes before we sat down to do this, there was a giant lightning and like rolling thunder.
It was huge.
It sounded like a building was falling over.
Right? Yeah.
Like, not to be hyperbolic, in the middle of war happening in Ukraine where buildings actually are falling over.
Right.
So, sorry. But I just wanted to put it out there. Sorry if that happens.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay? All right. Let's read this chapter 11 thing.
Okay, let's do it.
Saul defeats the Ammonites.
Oh, thank God.
I'm glad about that.
I don't give... Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Whatever.
Okay, so about a month later, King Nahash of Ammon led his army against the Israelite town of Jabesh Gilead.
Okay. You know, if God was as prominent and powerful as he comes across as like they say he is, why do all these people try to attack them? You'd think they'd be like, oh no, you know, they got Yahweh, we just need to like stay the fuck away from them.
Because he's not with them.
Okay.
If he was with them, they wouldn't attack.
I guess.
He's not with them.
I've never known people not to attack them, though. They're always fucking attacking the Israelites.
That's because there's all these different cults.
Yeah.
And they all have a Yahweh.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Yahweh just isn't all that, apparently,
No,
you know?
He's not the only one.
So, I don't know.
That needs to be like a book, like not the
Yahweh's
only God.
not all that?
Not the only God.
Not the only God, yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
But all the citizens of Jabesh asked for peace.
Okay.
Make a treaty with us, and we'll be your servants. They pleaded.
Oh, okay.
They just rolled over.
They're like, whatever, yeah.
Oh, all right, Nahash said. Nahash.
Okay.
But only on one condition. I will gouge out the right eye. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were, the whole fucking East Side gang got their eyes gouged out.
Yeah, they did. I will gouge out the right eye of every one of you motherfuckers as a disgrace to all of Israel.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? We're going to war after all.
Yeah. I really need my eye. I'm really fond of it.
I'm not keen on getting my eye gouged out.
No,
Sorry.
Not back then neither.
Right? Yeah, the tools they would have had to use would have been, ugh.
They didn't have no 911.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, they didn't even have, sanitary things to do it with.
Ugh,
so
that's disgusting.
Right? Yeah.
But they were like, give us 7 days to send messengers throughout Israel! Exclamation point. Replied the elders of Jabesh. If no one comes to save us, we will agree to your terms. It literally says that.
So...
Yes.
So hold on. They sent a message out. They told them, hold on, we're going to see if people are going to come save us.
They go times.
And then if nobody comes to save them, then we're going to give up.
Yeah.
We give up, but only if they don't come.
We might fight you, but only if we can win. And if we don't, then we still want to be your servants.
If you were them, wouldn't you be like, you know what, fuck you guys, we're just going to attack.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this shit.
You die.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't wait for somebody to come rescue them.
Hope somebody comes to the rescue. When the messengers came to Gibeah of Saul and told the people about their plight, everyone broke into tears from both of their eyes. Sorry, that was shitty.
I mean, yeah, right.
Saul had been plowing a field, as kings do, with his oxen. And when he returned to town, he asked, "What's the matter? Why is everyone crying?"
Because they're going to lose their fucking eyes.
So they told him about the message from Jabesh.
Yeah.
Then the Spirit of God came powerfully upon Saul. And he became very fucking angry.
Oh, because God's angry.
Yeah.
That's
God put his anger into that Saul boy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. He's fucking angry.
Right.
He took 2 oxen and cut them into pieces.
What the fuck?
And sent the messengers to carry them throughout Israel with this message. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, he's got a message.
Yeah, because you got to slaughter oxen and send it out.
Yeah.
Just like you did with that woman that one time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is what will happen to the oxen of anyone who refuses to follow Saul and Samuel into battle.
Okay.
I think he used that voice too.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm pretty sure he did.
All right.
And the Lord...
He's threatening his own people to go to war with him.
Yeah.
That's not... That doesn't bode well for your situation, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
So.
And the Lord made the people afraid of Saul's anger. See? I did use the right voice then.
Yeah.
And all of them came out together as one. When Saul...
Because they were scared as fuck, apparently.
Okay, so they're either going to get their eyes gouged or killed by Saul.
This guy... Okay, look. This guy is in a field, right? With his fucking 2 oxen.
Yeah.
And then somebody's there maybe watching this, and he just bursts into a fucking rage and starts slaughtering his goddamn oxen. And he's like, "Take these to the people and tell them I will do the same." Wouldn't you be like, okay, dude.
I would be
backing away slowly. We'll get this message out. You hang tight. We'll get this all solved for you, okay?
Yeah. And then I would go pack my bags and go to a different land. When Saul mobilized them at Bezek, he found that there were 300,000 men from Israel.
Damn.
And 30,000 men from Judah.
Wait, what?
Isn't Judah
part of Israel?
Part of Israel?
That's what I thought.
I'm confused.
We're going to have to look that one up, because that's weird.
I don't get
that.
Like,
why would they make them separate from the rest of Israel?
I don't know.
But
maybe they count Israel as West Side gang, and isn't Judah in East Side gang?
I didn't think so. It was Reuben and Gad and Manasseh.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Rolled that right off.
You did.
Half tribe of Manasseh.
Yes, half tribe. Nice.
Damn.
Well done.
What the fuck?
It's like you read this shit and
like,
it registered.
That's messed up.
I didn't remember that till you said it.
I know. Yeah, I didn't remember it till I said it either.
I don't understand this Judah thing being separate from Israel. But anyway, so they got 330,000 guys.
Okay.
So Saul sent the messengers back to Jabesh Gilead.
Yeah, that place.
I have such a hard time with that. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
To say, "We'll rescue you by noontime tomorrow, boy." There was great joy throughout the town when that message arrived.
I bet. They're not going to lose their fucking eyes now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're like, okay, time's in, time's out, and then time's in.
We're not going to give you our eyes. Sorry.
Yeah.
That bit's out.
Yeah. The men of Jabesh then told their enemies, "Tomorrow we will come out to you, and you can do to us whatever you wish."
Wait, what? Are they trying to trick them?
Oh, of course they are.
I mean, but can you really sneak up on people with 300,000 people?
No.
I don't think that's possible. Like, you would hear them from, like, 10, 20 miles away. 300,000 fucking people marching?
It's like they're poking them, and they're like, "Go ahead, fight us. Go ahead." It's
Maybe
fine.
I bet what do you want to bet? I bet they run towards the 300,000. Like, they're going to run.
Yeah.
And then they're going to wait in ambush, and then they're going to get them.
I bet.
You think?
That's the only...
That's how they fight, right?
That's the only,
strategy
war
they know.
strategy they have. Yeah.
They have not read Sun Tzu.
No Sun Tzu for you. But before dawn the next morning, Saul arrived, having divided his army into 3 detachments.
Okay. All right.
Damn!
Yeah.
He split them up. He's gonna flank them.
Yeah.
What?
They're gonna ambush them.
I know.
Because that's the way they do.
He launched a surprise attack against the Ammonites and slaughtered them the whole morning.
The whole morning. Not only part of it, but the whole morning.
The whole entire 100% of the morning.
Yeah, it was all slaughter the whole time.
If you were going to say morning, what time is morning?
I mean, I consider morning any time up until, noon.
Yeah. Like starting at 6, right? Because that's about when the sun comes up.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
7,
sure,
maybe 6:30.
yeah.
We'll go with 6:30.
Right. Okay. Sure.
So 6:30 to 11:30 is morning. And then 11:30 to what, like 3 is noon and afternoon?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
I don't consider evening till about 5, so I would say,
Okay.
like till 4.
4. All right.
35-ish. Something like that.
And then it's evening?
And then it's evening. Maybe.
Where's the gloaming?
I don't fucking know.
The remnant of their army was so badly scattered that no 2 of them were left together.
Oh, man.
Oh, he tore them a fucking sunder.
Yeah, they were running all which ways.
Damn. Then the people exclaimed to Samuel, with the good hair.
With the good hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, where are those men who said, "Why should Saul rule over us?"
Yeah, where are they? Where are those guys?
Mm-hmm. Bring them here and we'll kill them. God damn. They're so uppity.
What the fuck?
We're going to kill them now.
Because they're feeling it right now. They're like, yeah, we'll just kill them.
Remember that time you were doubting me? Instead of just saying, "I told you so."
Yeah, we're going to kill you.
I told you so, and you're dead now.
Right, yeah.
Wow. But Saul replied, "No one will be executed today, for today the Lord has rescued Israel!" Exclamation point.
Yay! No one's going to die other than those other people that died.
The ones that already did.
Yeah, they're dead.
Then Samuel said to the people, "Come, let us all go to Gilgal to renew the kingdom." So they all went to Gilgal, and in a solemn ceremony before the Lord, they made Saul king.
Oh.
I thought it was already... They made the king
whatever.
king.
I guess this is official making it official.
So they made the king that they picked to be king, that they did a ceremony that wasn't necessary because they already picked him to be king. That king, they made him king.
He's king now.
What a king.
Okay. Saul's king.
So they went there and they made Saul king. Then they offered peace offerings to the Lord, and Saul and all the Israelites were filled with joy. The end.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Not so happy that they're happy.
It
makes things so much better.
It's fun for them.
I mean, when you kill lots of people, that always makes them happy, apparently.
Yeah.
They always seem happy afterwards.
I don't know if I would be happy or not because I've never killed anybody.
God seems to rejoice in killing people.
Oh.
I think that's definitely true.
I think that's a product of man. Because we seem to be a very murdery group of animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that was it for today, right?
1 Samuel chapter 11.
And tomorrow we are doing what?
1 Samuel chapter 12.
All right. We will see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Not a fucking bit.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Rude. What happened was this guy, this king of the Ammonites, Nahash.
Okay.
He was like, "I'm going to poke all your right eyes out."
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And the guys were like, "Wait, times."
And then somebody slaughtered some oxen.
That was Saul.
It was Saul, yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, "Fuck that shit."
He raged out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then they went and they got him. and killed them all or whatever.
They killed him, slaughtered him.
Yeah.
Slaughtered him.
Slaughtered,
yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
And then, what's his name? Not Saul, the other guy. Samuel was like, yeah, let's go kill the rest of them or some shit.
And then he was like, nah, not today.
Or no, the people were like that. But Samuel was like, let's just not.
I thought it was Saul that was like, let's just not.
No, you're right. Saul was like, okay. Samuel was like, let's kill them all. And then Saul was like, nah, bygones, bitch.
Right.
And so then they made him king and everything was gravy.
Awesome. So what are we getting into today?
1 Samuel chapter 12.
All right, let's go do this.
Yeah. Okay, well, before I hop into this chapter, we have a little bit of housekeeping that we probably should have done upstart.
Yeah, we've been way behind on getting our thanks out to new Patreon supporters, and we're way behind on that, and we're also way behind on our Patreon episodes.
Yes.
So we've got one of those that we need to be doing soon, and I think given that with the recent shootings and everything, we're probably going to be angling towards something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's get to thanking our new Patreon supporters, huh?
Yeah.
So, let me start off with the first one because this was one of our newest subscribers, and it's going to be the hardest one to pronounce. So,
okay.
I'm just going to do a shout out for their screen name.
Okay.
And yeah, they're a new subscriber, and so we want to give thanks to Johann Gambleputty, Davon Oshfern, Splenden, Schlitter, Krosskrenbo, and Burstein von Knacker, Horowitz, Acker, Hot Kopft of Ohm. So, thank you for making me say that on the air.
That's
because that was
awesome.
amazing. But and also thank you for your support. Yeah, that's great.
And then also thank you to new supporter Slaughter Bartfast.
Yeah,
which if you're not familiar with that name, it's a main character in
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
only our
Galaxy.
favorite fucking book that we mention all the time.
I know. I was trying to think of the author, Douglas Adams, and all I could think was Arthur Dent. Arthur Dent. And like, no, that's not the author.
Right.
That's the main character.
Yeah.
So anyway, and also a big shout out to Natalie, who upgraded her support, and
for the second time.
And we are just so appreciative for all you guys are doing. It's really helping us get towards our goal, and yay.
Well, and I gotta say this out loud, like, we finally don't have a debt every month that we are incurring due to what we are paying for this podcast. So, like, that's amazing to feel like we actually can cover our expenses with what we're getting in support from you guys. So we really, really appreciate your help.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys.
Yep. All right. So that was it for our thanks. We're gonna get into our episode here, I think, now soon.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 12. Samuel's address to the people.
Awesome.
I have a question though. Like, this is called 1 Samuel, but Saul's the king.
Yeah. No, I know. I was kind of wondering that myself.
It's weird.
It's not a. Yeah, like they should have switched from this should be like Samuel should have ended already, and we should be like in Saul or something.
Yeah,
right?
the book of Saul.
Unless we're going back to Samuel, or Samuel's going to keep being on the fringes or something.
Because there's a whole second book of Samuel.
Right? No,
so
I know.
Like,
it's like, but maybe they just named him after like this story started with Samuel, so like it just continues, and then it's all Samuel.
I guess
I don't know.
Just weird.
But I feel like if that's all that Samuel was, is like. This portion
brought the king.
Then like
it's poorly
like, what
named.
the fuck? Yeah, right.
So I have to believe there's more Samuel things.
I would think so, yeah.
But I don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to address that as a thought I had before we continue.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Samuel addressed all Israel. I have done as you asked and given you a fucking king. Your king is now your fucking leader.
Okay, so I just got to point out, it's not saying fucking at all.
No.
That's just you being,
That's my 2 cents that I'm adding in because he's petty.
I'm just saying,
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Just in case there's new listeners, yes.
Right.
I do like to add
the Bible does not say fucking.
Not this version.
Right? Our version would if we wrote it.
Oh, fuck yeah, it would. I just like to add my 2 cents because I know that Samuel is petty, and I feel like it's probably what he said.
Right, I gotcha.
If this dude existed.
Right,
Right. So anyway, your king is now your fucking leader. I stand here before you, an old gray-haired man. It really says that.
Yeah.
And my sons serve you, because Because, just for background, remember, y'all wouldn't let my fucking little brats be kings. I had to go pick somebody else. Remember?
Wait, this is Saul, right?
No, this is Samuel.
Oh, this is Samuel. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Samuel's addressing the crowd.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, my sons serve you, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Point being because...
Sure.
The people were like, your sons suck.
Yep. No.
I, Samuel, have served as your leader from the time I was a boy to this very day. Except, did he serve or did he, I don't know, coast?
I don't know. I mean, he prophesied things, you know? So.
But he also was a rich fat fuck.
I guess.
An asshole.
I don't know. Whatever.
Now testify against me in the presence of the Lord and before this anointed one. I guess he's pointing over to Saul.
Right.
Whose ox or donkey have I stolen? Have I ever cheated any of you? Have I ever oppressed you? Have I ever taken a bribe and perverted justice? Tell me, and I will make right whatever I have done wrong.
Okay.
No, they replied. You've never cheated or oppressed us, and you've never taken even a single bribe.
Like they would say that if they did, because they'd probably get killed.
Right?
Samuel was just advocating for killing people in the last chapter we read.
Yeah, like 2 sentences ago, right?
So, I mean, I'd be like, I'm just going to keep quiet.
You're pretty. You're strong.
Right?
Your dick is big. I like you. You fuck hard. Samuel's the best.
Right.
Samuel for president, but not really, because he sucks.
Right.
Okay, the Lord, let's see.
Something else.
You've never taken even a single bribe. Okay, so now he's responding back. Sorry. The sentences are not broke up, so I can't see, like, who's saying what. So if I stop between each of them speaking, I'm like, wait, who's speaking now? It's just a new quote, but not, like, a new sentence.
Sure.
So, okay, so now Samuel is saying, the Lord and his anointed ones are my witnesses today that my hands are fucking clean.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Yes, he is a witness, they replied.
Okay.
All right.
I don't get this, but
He's like, I'm totally a good guy.
Right.
Y'all just said so.
Like, that doesn't really matter, though, does it? In the grand scheme of things, you're rich. They can't say anything bad about you. The only person you should have to worry about, if he was actually real, would be God, which he's not. So it doesn't ultimately matter.
It's kind of like the cool factor. If you have to proclaim your coolness, you're not cool.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you have to be like, y'all promised me I'm good.
Right.
You're probably not good.
Probably not.
It was the Lord who appointed Moses and Aaron, Samuel continued.
Mm-hmm.
He brought your ancestors out of the land of Egypt, and he'll never fucking let you forget it, will he?
Ever.
Now stand here quietly before the Lord as I, Samuel, remind you of all the great things the Lord has done for you and your ancestors.
You're not going to remind them, though, of all the shitty things he's done and how many people he's killed.
Or how many murders, slaughters, rapes, etc. he's allowed to happen.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to say those things.
No.
I guarantee it.
Or the times that he, like, put poxes and boils and lava on people.
Because you know what? I never hear people coming out of church praising how many people God killed.
Right.
Never.
Ever.
Not once.
Not once. When the Israelites were in Egypt and cried out to the Lord, he sent Moses and Aaron to rescue them from Egypt and to bring them into this land. But the people soon forgot about the Lord their God, so he handed them over to Sisera.
I'm sorry, but Moses and Aaron were there in Egypt with them, so they didn't go to rescue them.
No, it's
true.
They
were with them and wanted to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It was a rebellion of types.
Yeah. So, okay, you interrupted my sentence.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
But the people soon forgot about the Lord their God, so he handed them over to Sisera, the commander of Hazor's army, and also to the Philistines, and to the king of Moab, who fought against them.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's recounting all the battles they lost because they turned against God. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Then they cried to the Lord again and confessed, "We have sinned by turning away from the Lord and worshipping the images of Baal and Ashtaroth. But we will worship you and you alone if you'll rescue us from our enemies." Because God's a bribe.
They're very fickle.
Yeah.
Like whoever can save them today, they're like, that one. We're going with that one.
We totally love this God.
Are you going to save us? Great. We're on board with you then.
Yep. Then the Lord sent Gideon, Bedan, Jephthah, and Samuel to save you. He's literally naming himself in the third person. And you lived in safety.
Mm-hmm.
But when you were afraid of Nahash, the king of Ammon, you came to me, Samuel, and said that you wanted a king to reign over you, even though the Lord your God was already your king. All right, here's the king you've chosen.
He doesn't really do a lot of politics or, like, direct involvement in, like, things that are pertinent to them on the day-to-day basis. So, really, as much as they want him to be king, he's not really a fucking king.
No,
I'm just saying.
He's a dude in the sky.
Right. Who doesn't ever talk to them.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. You asked for him, and the Lord has granted your request. I'm trying to give him this petty-ass voice because he sounds petty in my mind.
Right.
Now, if you fear and worship the Lord and listen to his voice, and if you do not rebel against the Lord's commands, then both you and your king will show that you recognize the Lord as your God.
Okay.
But if you rebel...
which they will.
Against the Lord's commands and refuse to listen to him, which, like you said, they will.
Yeah.
Then his hand will be as heavy upon you as it was upon your ancestors.
No, not that.
If you be bad, he will fuck your shit up.
Yes, he will. Well, he fucked up shit. He screwed with people a lot more back in Exodus than he did in other chapters. But, definitely, whatever. God fucks with people.
We'll see. Now, stand here and see the great thing the Lord is about to do.
Oh, he's going to do something great, huh?
But,
I'm interested.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Drum roll.
What's this great thing? Yeah.
You know that it does not rain at this time of the year during the wheat harvest.
Yeah, never happened ever.
Are they
right?
Are they going to do a rain dance?
They're going to do it. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I will ask the Lord to send thunder and rain today.
Okay.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you will realize how wicked you have been in asking the Lord for a king.
Mm-hmm. He probably saw red skies in the morning and, sailors take warning, so...
I don't... Say that again? What is that phrase?
Red sky... So there's... You say red skies at night, sailors delight. Red skies in the morning, sailors take warning. It means that, like, if there's red skies at night, it's going to be nice the next day. If there's red skies in the morning, it's going to be shitty.
What if there's red skies at night and then there's also red skies in the morning?
Then
what do you do with that?
The fucking world is confused, apparently. I don't know.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. So Samuel called to the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people were terrified of the Lord of Samuel.
The Lord of Samuel.
Of Samuel.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, he's the Lord of Samuel.
Yeah.
Not the Lord. The Lord of Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
That was a quick de-ranking of God.
Yeah. Like... don't you mean the Lord of the Israelites?
Right? Yeah. Like, geez. Apparently Samuel is in charge of God now, huh?
I guess he is.
That's a bold claim.
He made him make it rain.
Of Samuel.
Make it rain. Make it rain. Pray to the Lord your God for us, or we will die, they all said to Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
Will they, though?
They're going to die anyway, so fuck cares.
Yeah. For now we have added to our sins by asking for a king.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
They're such crybabies.
Like, oh, my God.
I hate these people.
I do, too.
They're so...
They're so stupid.
They're wishy-washy. They don't take a stand. They're so back and forth.
Yeah. I love God. I hate God. No, we're going to, worship Baal and then not. And then now we need you and whatever. Fuck off.
Yeah. Don't be afraid, Samuel reassured them. You literally just told us to be afraid.
Right.
And now you're saying, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have certainly done wrong, said Samuel.
Yeah.
You sure have done wrong. He's got his pointy finger out. Mm-hmm. But make sure now that you worship the Lord with all your heart. And don't turn your back on him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go back to worshiping worthless idols that cannot help rescue you. They are totally useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. They're all useless.
I gotta say, like, people tell us all the time, because we're atheists, that,
mm-hmm.
we're godless and we need to find God and all this shit. So are they maybe we should, because, like, we're not listening. That's why everything's shitty. Like, we can make more money if we just turn into God, right?
My soul's not so easily purchased, my good sir. I am not a prostitute.
I'm not switching sides, no.
No,
I'm just...
no.
I'm just pointing it out.
Oh, that's a good question, though.
What's that?
That you could pose on Twitter.
What?
How much money would it take you before you sold out and declared yourself a total Christian and went into the business?
Right, yeah. That reminds me, speaking of selling out in money. So...
Yeah.
So just a quick break here. Sorry, it's a perfect segue for it.
Okay.
But I started a donation drive on our website. Mm-hmm. So it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com because our computer is absolute shit.
It really
and
is.
it's been like giving us all kinds of grief. And so we're trying to raise money for that and some extra podcasting equipment. We definitely would appreciate anything you can give at any point. I'm going to leave it up there until we hit our goal. And then hopefully that will help us, have a better sounding quality podcast at some point.
Just an FYI, it's not so that we could buy a fucking yacht.
No, I don't. We can't buy a yacht for that.
No, I'm making fun of churchy people that they're like, oh, you have to tithe and give money so that we can give to the Lord, and then you look and they have like more than one mansion and they own fucking yachts and
we
shit
definitely
like
don't
that.
have a fucking yacht. We're running this on an Acer computer or some shit that's like 12 years old and reading off our goddamn phones.
It's true.
Sitting here
and sharing one little microphone.
Yeah.
Which it was very exciting the day we got this
It
microphone.
It was. Like now we're truly podcasters, right?
Yeah. We got a mic.
All right, so on with the God shit.
Okay, so, we're almost at the end
Oh,
here.
okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
The Lord will not abandon his people. I think he's still speaking.
Okay.
The Lord will not abandon his people because that would dishonor his great name. Of course
Actually,
it would.
he's abandoned them before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it did dishonor his name. We made quite a lot of fun of him.
Right, yeah.
For it has pleased the Lord to make you his very own people. As for me, I will certainly not sin against the Lord by ending my prayers for you. Oh, that's like when people say, I'll pray for you. And I'm just like, you do that.
Also, they said that it would please the Lord.
Yeah.
They're his people or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in the past, he said that he doesn't like those people. They're the least they're the least bad, basically. Yeah. So I don't believe that shit.
No. And I will continue to teach you what is good and right.
Oh, boy. What the fuck is he taught? Oh, Samuel's going to teach them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Samuel is an uppity fuck. I got to tell you.
Yeah, he sounds like it.
He is so full of himself.
Yeah.
But be sure to fear the Lord and faithfully serve him. Think of all the wonderful things he has done for you. But if you continue to sin, you and your king will be swept away. The end.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Samuel is going to continue because he's going to keep bitching about shit and causing some issues. So.
We're not going to hear about the fucking king hardly at all. We're hearing about this.
No, I assumed based on the last chapter it was going to be like all Saul. But like now, no, we're back to Samuel. So I guess it is Samuel.
What a dick, though.
He is kind of a,
I don't like him.
No, I don't either.
I'm not a fan.
He thinks he knows all that.
Yeah.
He's better than everybody else. And
I'm kind of a fan of Saul. He didn't ask for any of this shit.
Right, and he led him into battle and won and shit.
Yeah.
And he got pissed off that they were going to take their eyes out.
Yeah, he was like, take their right eye, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And he hulked out, and then he went and won.
Yeah.
And then he went back to plowing.
So far, I'm good with him.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly.
He hasn't raped anyone that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, that was Samuel chapter...
1 Samuel chapter 12.
Oh, yeah, 1 Samuel chapter 12.
And tomorrow we will be back for 1 Samuel chapter 13.
All right, we will see you guys tomorrow then.
Bye.
Bye.
Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
I don't.
Okay. Well, it wasn't a lot, honestly. It was just Samuel being uppity.
Okay.
And being like, you got a king now, and God brought you forth from Egypt. Remember? And then he's like, give up your false idols, and the whole thing was a fucking speech.
Right. And it's like the same stuff they've been talking about since forever. Mm-hmm. Like, no false idols, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You need leaders, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
God.
Except that you don't need leaders because God is the great leader.
Right, yeah.
And if you wanted a king, then you're replacing God with a king, which I don't think...
But do you remember how they also said that kings are with God too? Like, none of this makes any fucking sense.
It's all... I'm going to go with this part is an us problem, not a Bible problem, because it's all out of context.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, we're just getting the highlights, like, several thousand years later.
Yeah.
And you're right. It makes no fucking sense. But moreover, I don't feel like it's very important. So, I'm not inclined to research up on this particular section of the Bible.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, let's, what are we getting into today?
That was 1 Samuel chapter 12.
Yep.
And we are about to start 1 Samuel chapter 13.
All right. Let's go do this.
Okay.
Hey guys, I forgot to mention something when we were doing the shout-outs. So we are doing a money drive right now to try to improve our equipment that we have here, because our equipment is shit.
It is shit.
Yeah. So I wanted to just mention it here at the beginning of the podcast. On our website at sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, we have a donation page right there when you go to the main page, and anything would help. I mean, honestly, if everybody that was on here donated $2 that listened to us, we'd be there within a week, which I know that's not going to happen. So, but we really could use the help to try to get things going and improve our podcasting abilities. So
yeah, because the computer froze one night and
we
had to re-record like 5 times.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I wanted to punch him in the wiener.
Well, we wanted to punch the computer in the wiener.
No, I wanted to punch you because you kept making us re-record.
Because it was good.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I just wanted to be done.
Yeah. No, I get you. So anyway, we've been running into some issues, and we're trying to avoid that in the future going forward, because obviously that's not going to be the last time we run into this with our old ass fucking computer and equipment. So anyway, that's all I had for right now. Let's go ahead and get into the chapter 13, huh?
Okay, 1 Samuel chapter 13.
All right.
War with the Philistines.
War, huh?
What? What's war good for?
No, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Right.
Okay.
Except for pleasing God.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's what, right?
Right,
yeah.
It's true. Saul was 30 years old when he became king. And he reigned for 42 years.
That's 72.
Okay.
He's 72.
Saul selected 3,000 special troops from the army of Israel and sent the rest of the men home. He took 2,000 of the chosen men with him to Michmash. Michmash.
Okay.
And the hill country of Bethel.
Okay.
The other 1,000 went with Saul's son Jonathan to Gibeah in the land of Benjamin.
You get him, Jonathan.
In Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Gibeon.
Yeah, I don't like the land of Benjamin.
Whatever. Yeah.
But they were rapey fucks.
Isn't he from the land? Isn't Saul? Is it Saul or Samuel that's from the land of Benjamin? It's Saul. It's Samuel. That's right. Yeah.
Soon after this, Jonathan, the son, attacked and defeated the garrison of Philistines at Geba.
Okay.
I probably said that wrong.
I'm sure.
The news spread quickly. I'm not even apologizing anymore. I can't.
I mean, there's just too many names and places, you know.
Look, I try, you guys.
If we wanted to pronounce them all right, we would never put out a podcast.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
That's why we need like a research team, but we don't have one, so.
We don't even have a good computer, much less a research team. The news spread quickly among the Philistines. Yeah, it did.
Uh-huh.
They beat us. Blah.
Oh, my God.
So Saul blew the ram's horn throughout the land, saying, Hebrews, hear this! Rise up and revolt! You like that?
Okay, so, yeah.
Hey, Hebrews, hear this!
It's good.
Yeah.
So
all Israel heard the news that Saul had destroyed the Philistine garrison at Geba.
Did they rise up?
And that the Philistines now hated the Israelites more than ever.
I mean, they killed you. The Israelites killed them, so
I hate when people
kill me. Yeah.
So the entire Israelite army was summoned to join Saul at Gilgal.
The entire
Israelite army.
Okay. Is that the 3,000 or is that the 300,000?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Too many numbers.
Yeah, no, I know.
The Philistines mustered a mighty army of 3,000 chariots, 6,000 charioteers, and as many warriors as the grains of sand on the seashore.
Damn, I don't believe that.
I don't either. That is a hyperbolic superlative if I ever heard one.
I bet if you took a square 10-yard area, they didn't even have that many soldiers.
I bet you're right. Who can't math? God can't math.
Right.
They camped at Michmash, east of Bethaven. Bethaven?
Sure.
Bethaven.
Okay.
Beth.
I thought we weren't going to, give a shit. Just pronounce it however you pronounce it.
Okay, yeah, sorry. The men of Israel saw what a tight spot they were in, and because they were hard pressed by the enemy, they tried to hide in caves, thickets, rocks, holes, and cisterns.
Yeah, okay.
But not ditches.
It
didn't say ditches.
Those were right out.
Yeah, ditches are right out. Some of them crossed the Jordan River and escaped into the land of Gad and Gilead.
Oh, good, I guess.
Saul's disobedience and Samuel's rebuke.
Is this a new chapter section?
It's a new section, but it's not...
It wasn't, listed as
It's not listed
That's
off.
weird.
Yeah. I thought it was a new sentence.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's a new section.
Okay, let me start over.
Yeah.
Same chapter, new section.
Yeah.
Saul's disobedience and Samuel's rebuke.
Okay.
So apparently, Saul's going to disobey.
Okay.
And Samuel's going to rebuke somebody.
Got it.
Meanwhile, Saul stayed at Gilgal, and his men were trembling with fear.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever tremble with fear?
I can't recall the last time that's happened to me, no.
No, when I am afeared, I get, like, my body goes stiff, like, tight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't tremble with fear.
I can't really, fear. I can't really remember the last time I was, like, afraid.
You were afraid of those bees that were chasing
you. Well,
you.
yeah. That's not, so mine, in that moment, it was more of a flight response, not a trembling response, yeah.
No,
I hate fucking bees.
Tell them what you did.
I ran.
You left me.
I did. I ditched you.
You were like...
I sprinted.
Every man for himself.
But you know what? Even though I was sprinting, I could still hear those fucking wasps chasing my ass, so I was on a mission to get back.
And I was running behind you in my sandals going, wait for me!
Hold on. We stopped to read a fucking sign. We were at a Civil War thing, and we were reading the sign, and then all of a sudden these massive wasps come out from underneath it.
I thought they were bees.
Whatever the fuck they were, I don't really care, but they chased us.
Flying bees that were stinging.
And they were not happy that we were there. I was running my ass off.
Yeah. And I was wearing sandals that weren't meant for that kind of behavior.
Right.
And you just left me.
I did.
You didn't give a fuck.
Nope, I was out of there.
I always say that is proof that if there was a zombie apocalypse, you would throw me to the zombies to stall so that you could take off.
You know what? Zombies you can fight. Bees are too fucking small to fight. You just have to run.
That's not true.
That is true.
You hit them with your tennis racket.
Did you see any tennis rackets laying around where we were? No. So I ran.
In the apartment that we used to live in, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You used to go out on the wooden deck.
Ding, ding.
They had giant wood bees. If you guys look these up, they're giant black. I mean, they're just big balls.
Carpenter bees.
They're carpenter bees, not wood bees. Carpenter bees. Yeah, if you've never seen them, you need to. And
they're actually harmless.
They're harmless, but
I hate
they're
them.
so big and ugly. He used to play tennis with them. He would take the tennis racket out back and just smack at them.
Well, they were swarming around our porch.
They were.
It was bad.
Oh, it was great. Okay, I don't know why we're talking about bees just then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we really like bees. They should need to be populated more. And so.
Oh, that reminds me.
Man, we are really getting off on a tangent here.
No, seriously. I just read that apparently either this week or this month, something is a no-mow.
Oh.
In order to encourage the growth of wildflowers and dandelions and shit like that, the shit that you weren't supposed to want in your yard.
Yeah.
In order to encourage that growth to help populate more bees.
Oh, shit, I've been doing that all year, every time.
I know. I was like, if we did that, though, on purpose, we would get fined if we let it go. Because we live... No, we would.
No, I know.
The city runs around with fucking yard
We should get a hold of our city and try to get them to adopt No-Mow May.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right?
I mean, it's the end of May now, so it's a bit late for that.
but for next year.
For next year, we should.
Yeah.
It's a red area. Do you think they give a fuck about bees?
Probably not, but, it gives people a reason not to mow, so maybe they'd be for it.
I really, really like that idea. Okay, Saul waited there 7 days for Samuel, as Samuel had instructed him earlier. But Samuel still didn't come.
Oh, man.
He still didn't come.
Oh, my God. That's so not...
I'm childish.
Yeah,
I know.
that was
sorry.
bad.
Okay, whatever. Saul realized that his troops were rapidly slipping away. So he demanded, "Bring me the burnt offering and the peace offerings." And Saul sacrificed the burnt offering his damn self.
It did not say his damn self.
No, it said himself.
Yeah.
I changed it to his damn
Right,
self.
no, I know.
For artistic license.
Right, yeah.
Just as Saul was finishing with the burnt offering, Samuel arrived. Finally, asshole. Saul went out to meet and welcome him, but Samuel said, "What is this you're doing?" Saul replied, "I saw my men scattering from me, and you didn't arrive when you said you would, and the Philistines are at Michmash ready for battle. So I said, the Philistines are ready to march against us at Gilgal. And I haven't even asked for the Lord's help.
Oh, man.
So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering before you came.
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Like, dude, we got to get this done.
You were fucking late. I didn't know.
I need
to
offer God
me.
something here.
I tried to call. You wouldn't answer the fucking phone.
Right?
I had no way of knowing you were on the way.
Yeah.
Dude, I was taking care of business as a king does.
Right,
you know?
right.
I was kinging. How foolish! Samuel exclaimed.
Okay.
Samuel, you're wrong.
I mean, I don't know if he's wrong, but like, I don't necessarily.
He was running late.
Right? Yeah, he was running late.
Even if he had a good reason to run late.
Is Saul allowed to do a burnt offering and peace offering stuff because he's not a priest, right? He's a king.
True.
So that might be why he's like, you shouldn't have done that.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but
okay. So Samuel's all, how foolish! You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. Had you kept it, the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. But now your kingdom must end, for the Lord has sought out a man after his own heart. The Lord has already appointed him to be the leader of his people because you have not kept the Lord's command.
What?
Boom.
What was he? What did he do wrong exactly?
He picked up sticks on the wrong fucking day.
Jesus Christ! I think Samuel just didn't like him.
No, he's all petty.
That's all this is.
He's jealous and petty because his own kids.
He's looking for a reason to get rid of him.
Yeah. Samuel then left Gilgal and went on his way, but the rest of the troops went with Saul to meet the army. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went up from Gilgal to Gibeah in the land of Benjamin. When Saul counted the men who were still left with him, he found only 600 were left.
Oh, shit.
Saul and Jonathan and the troops with them were staying in Gibeah in the land of Benjamin. The Philistines set up their camp at Michmash. 3 raiding parties soon left the camp of the Philistines. One went north towards Ophrah, they went north towards Ophrah in the land of Shual.
Okay.
Another went west to Beth Horon, and the third moved toward the border above the valley of Zeboim. Zeboim, near the wilderness.
Okay.
There were no blacksmiths in the land of Israel in those days. FYI.
That means what? Like, why? What?
Just so you know.
Yeah,
there was no blacksmiths.
Okay.
The Philistines wouldn't allow them for fear they would make swords and spears for the Hebrews.
Oh, I see. So they banned blacksmiths. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because there had to be blacksmiths in existence to make chariots and charioteers.
Yeah, but they only let the Philistine people to make those. Right. Okay.
So whenever the Israelites needed to sharpen their plowshares, picks, axes, or sickles, they had to take them to a Philistine blacksmith.
Okay.
The charges were as follows.
The fees.
The price.
Why do we care?
We don't.
Okay.
But it's in the Bible. The fucking menu price is in the Bible.
Yeah.
The charges were as follows. 1/4 of an ounce of silver for sharpening a plowshare or pick. And 1/8 of an ounce for sharpening an axe or making the point of an ox goad.
See, like, I don't even know if that means as far as inflation-wise from thousands of years ago at this point. Does that mean, like, $20 or does it mean, like...
$2,000.
$2,000, yeah.
Right.
Like, that makes... but it said, like, we should look up the amount of half an ounce of silver or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, we should.
Just to see.
Inflation.
Yeah.
So, on the day of the battle, none of the people of Israel had a sword or spear except for Saul and Jonathan.
Jesus.
The king and his son.
So what the fuck were they fighting with? Sticks?
I mean, even an unsharpened sword is still a pointy thing.
Fair enough.
But they're saying that they didn't have any, and I'm like, that's foolish and stupid.
Right, yeah. Why would you even go to battle?
Yeah. I would still take my unsharpened sword, because I'm still going to stab you with it.
If you're ready to go to war with somebody, don't you, like, set up a, secret blacksmith in your hold somewhere? And
I'm a fucking king.
Yeah.
I'm going to make me a fucking blacksmith place.
Right, at least before we go to war with them.
You know what else I'm going to do? If none of my people know how to blacksmith, I'm going to fucking kidnap one. And, since this is Bible days, apparently, you could just threaten them with, I'm going to do something horrible and nasty to you.
Right.
If you don't.
Yeah.
So you better blacksmith my shit.
Yeah.
I'm using that word incorrectly and I don't care.
Whatever.
So on the day of the battle, none of the people of Israel, blah, 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 blah. The pass at Michmash had meanwhile been secured by a contingent of the Philistine army. The end.
I keep wanting to say Michmash paddywhack, but
give a dog a bone.
Yeah, it sounds like knick-knack, like I'm just like, That's really dumb. But it was in my brain the whole time.
No, I want to do the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a thing then, huh?
It's
At least
a thing.
between us.
Make mashed patty whack.
Yeah, apparently. Right. Okay, so that was chapter 13.
That was chapter 13, and it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, because they haven't gone
what's going to happen.
Right, they've got shitty weapons, and they're about to go to war, and Samuel left them and doesn't like Saul.
And the Philistine army has secured the pass.
And Saul
at Michmash.
has already been replaced, apparently.
Yeah.
According to Samuel.
Yeah. If you were Saul, like, wouldn't you be like, fine, whatever,
I'm out.
I didn't volunteer.
I'd be like, I'm out. I'm just going to let these fuckers come through to you.
Yeah.
Sorry, bye.
Okay, whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I did not volunteer for this. You fucking thrust this upon me.
Right.
And then you drew
You obviously don't like me, so, whatever, dude.
I was just looking for my fucking donkeys or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, can I have my donkeys back now? And can I go fucking plow my field? Bye.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, so that was 1 Samuel chapter 13, and tomorrow we will be doing 1 Samuel chapter 14.
All right, we'll see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
I'm feeling kind of not really on this at the moment, given what's happening in the world. But do you remember what happened yesterday?
Yeah, we just got done talking about some pretty heavy shit. So, sorry, we're still recovering from that. We should have recorded it because it was a really great conversation, actually.
It was.
But we didn't, alas.
Alas.
So, we don't have a producer who's constantly got a mic on us. But anyway.
Well, our sympathies are with all of the families of the people in Uvalde, Texas.
Definitely.
And that's some of what we were discussing.
Yeah.
So it just...
And I think we're going to have more of a discussion definitely on the way for our Patreon episode that's coming up very, very, very soon because we are woefully behind on that.
Yeah.
But yes.
It just felt trite to come in here in the middle of all this and cheerfully ask, husband, do you remember what happened in our Bible reading yesterday?
Right.
When,
the discussion right now is about the shootings.
Yeah.
And specifically the shooting down in Texas. So.
Well, in the grocery store one less than a week before that in Buffalo.
But I mean kids.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
Yes. Babies.
Yeah. That's just tragic.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Do you remember?
Do I remember? I think that, let's see, what do I remember? I remember that Samuel, I think, fired Saul.
I was just going to say, yeah, he was like,
is that
you're
right?
Fired.
And then...
Because Samuel was late, and Saul was like, fuck, I guess I got to go ahead and do this without him, and then he got fired for being efficient.
Right, yeah. So I think we got kind of left on a cliffhanger as to what's going to actually happen.
Yeah, we
But
did.
last I remember, they were like sending out parties to the Philistines were sending out parties to fight Saul and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go find out in chapter
14
what is going to happen. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, 1 Samuel chapter 14.
All right.
Hold on to your butts, because this is a bit of a lengthy one.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
One day, we're on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
No big.
Yeah.
One day, Jonathan said to his armor bearer, "Come on, let's go over to where the Philistines have their outpost." That sounds fun, yeah.
I thought they left out like with the Philistines coming to them.
I guess they're gonna go.
They're gonna go. Okay, all right, sure.
Party, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. But Jonathan did not tell his father what he was doing. Yeah, he was definitely on a party.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back at the camp. No, just kidding. Meanwhile, Saul and his 600 men. Oh, remember? They had dwindled. Their dudes dwindled.
Yep.
They were camped on the outskirts of Gibeah, around the pomegranate tree at Migron. Migron.
Well, at least they had some food. Yeah.
I love pomegranates. Oh, my God. Among Saul's men was Ahijah the Priest, who was wearing the ephod, the priestly vest.
That's very important for fighting.
I mean, for them it is.
I guess,
He's got his ephod on.
Right.
He's got his ephod. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I don't even know what the fuck you're referencing.
Instead of, he's got his hash pipe.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, I didn't get that from what you said.
Wow.
But,
okay.
But Weezer,
well,
then.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Duh.
Okay.
Ahijah of the ephod.
Yeah.
Was the son of Ichabod's brother, Ahitub.
Ahitub? Okay.
Son of Phinehas, son of Eli, the priest of the Lord, who had served at Shiloh.
Okay.
Begat.
Right.
No one realized that Jonathan had left the Israelite camp.
Not a one.
Well, he did not have a GPS tracker on him at the time.
Right,
so.
yeah.
To reach the Philistine outpost, Jonathan had to go down between two rocky cliffs that were called Bozez and Senna.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
The cliff on the north was in front of Michmash, Paddywhack. And the one on the south was in front of Geba. Hey, let's go across to the outpost of those pagans.
Yeah.
Jonathan said to his
like
armor bearer. I love fucking with the pagans.
It's just the two of them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps the Lord will help us, for nothing can hinder the Lord.
Right.
He can win a battle whether he has many warriors or only a few.
Yeah.
Do what you think is best, the armor bearer replied. I'm with you completely, whatever you decide.
It probably was more emphatic than that, but
it
maybe not.
I mean, the way he's like, whatever you decide, makes it sound like he's like, if you think this is best, I guess I don't have a choice because I bear
You're in
your
charge.
arms.
Yep, right.
All right, then, Jonathan told him. We will cross over and let them see us.
What? Why?
Because
Why would you do that?
God's on our side,
That's
right?
really, they're going to die.
Probably. I mean, if there's any justice in this story.
Okay.
If they say to us, stay where you are, we'll kill you, then we will stop and not go up to them. But if they say, come on up and fight, then we will go up.
Okay.
That will be the Lord's sign that he will help us defeat them.
It could be the sign that there's only two of them and lots more of the others.
I've decided that for God. I've decided for God what his test and meanings are.
Yeah.
I've interpreted
he knows
for
what
myself.
God wants.
Sure he does. Sure.
Because he wants to real bad.
Yeah. Jonathan is picking a fucking fight.
Yeah.
And, like usual, like men do.
Yeah.
He's using the religious texts to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Sure. Yeah.
When the Philistines saw them coming, they shouted, look! The Hebrews are crawling out of their holes! Crawling out of their holes, huh?
I guess.
Then the men from the outpost shouted at Jonathan, come on up here and we'll teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Come on, climb right behind me, Jonathan said to his armor bearer, for the Lord will help us defeat him. Because I just decided that is true.
I thought that God didn't like them because they just ditched Saul for, I mean, what?
I don't understand.
Why would you think this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
He's like, sure, I've led a privileged, blessed life.
I guess.
So I've decided for myself that God is awesome and everybody should be so awesome.
I mean, you do you, man.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the arms bearer was saying.
Right.
Like, okay. So they climbed up using both hands and feet, and the Philistines fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed those who came behind them.
What?
They killed some 20 men in all.
Oh my God.
And their bodies were scattered over half an acre.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This story's horrible and I hate it.
Right.
Suddenly, panic broke out in the Philistine army. Both in the camp and in the field, including even the outposts and raiding parties.
Because two people came up and killed people.
Yeah.
What?
Because God's on their side.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure. And just then, an earthquake struck, and everyone was terrified. And was the earthquake saying, Jonathan, get the fuck back on your side?
Right.
Or was the earthquake saying, oh yeah, Jonathan believes in me full-heartedly and I'm a vain God, so yeah, I'm going to shake those Philistines up. Yeah,
who knows? Because God doesn't actually say anything ever.
And he's a fickle little bitch.
Right.
Okay, Saul's lookouts in Gibeah of Benjamin saw a strange sight. Yeah, I bet they did.
Yeah, right.
The vast army of Philistines began to melt away in every direction.
Huh. Because of two fucking people, huh?
Two dumb kids picking a fucking fight.
It's ridiculous.
Call the roll and find out who's missing, Saul ordered. He knew it had to be somebody, right?
Right,
He knew.
yeah.
He's like, somebody went over there.
Right.
It couldn't just be that they're like running away.
Yeah.
Somebody went over there.
Why does he got to know anyway? They're melting away. You should go be like, oh, let's go finish them off,
Let's
right?
go finish them off, right? Yeah. Crawling out of their holes.
Like, it doesn't matter who's gone. Let's just go do this.
Yeah.
Wasting time.
And when they checked, though, they found that Jonathan and his armor bearer were gone.
I mean, obviously.
Duh.
Yeah. We already knew that.
Yeah. This was not written with the end reader in mind.
Right, yeah.
Then Saul shouted to Ahijah, bring the ephod here!
Yeah, because that's really important.
For at that time Ahijah was wearing the ephod in front of the Israelites.
Okay.
Yeah, you already told us that.
Yeah.
But while Saul was talking to the priest, the confusion in the Philistine camp grew louder and louder. So Saul said to the priest, "Never mind, let's get going."
There you go. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, go. Okay. Just go, stupid.
Yeah.
Then Saul and all his men rushed out to the battle and found the Philistines killing each other.
What the hell?
Why?
This is ridiculous.
Oh, I am mad at Nazis, so I'm going to stab my husband, who's not a Nazi.
God apparently confused them so much that they started killing each other.
Okay.
Which I don't believe for even a second, but
no,
okay.
No. There was terrible confusion everywhere.
Apparently. I mean, if they're killing each other, yeah, for sure.
Even the Hebrews, who had previously gone over to the Philistine army, revolted and joined in with Saul, Jonathan, and the rest of the Israelites. For fuck's sake.
Okay. All right.
This is stupid.
It really is.
Likewise, the men of Israel who were hiding in the hill country of Ephraim joined the chase when they saw the Philistines running away.
Why were they fucking hiding?
I don't know.
Who are these fuckers that were hiding?
I don't know.
Okay.
People that wanted to avoid
There's just people
war.
pouring out of the goddamn woodwork here.
Uh-huh. All of a sudden.
Right.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, because remember his Saul's army had dwindled, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
And so now they see that God is with the Israelites, and so now they're coming back.
Right. It's just
they're
that,
fair weather fans.
I don't understand where these people were. Like, why were they just in the hill country hiding?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, none of it does. So the Lord saved Israel that day.
Yeah, I guess.
And the battle continued to rage even beyond Bethaven. Okay.
Sure.
Whatever.
They chased him and killed him more.
Good. Yay. What?
God. Yay.
I
I
cannot get excited about this because it wasn't earned.
Okay.
It wasn't earned.
No, but and I have a question here. Like, legit. Isn't Samuel the prophet? Like, Samuel's a prophet, right? Of the Lord.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Samuel just fired Saul, right? And this is Saul's army, essentially. And apparently God's still on their side?
I have no idea where God stands on this, but apparently he decided, since Saul's son Jonathan was such a fan, that he would send down a little bit of
It just
help.
feels like God is really fickle about when and who and if he's going to support people.
Yeah, and
like,
you can never guess which way it'll go.
If you just stroke his ego enough, maybe he'll support you that day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or maybe he won't. You never know. If you die, you die. If you don't, you don't.
Because...
And essentially, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
You could stroke his ego, and then it could be like, oh, you're trying too hard to get my affections. You're trying to buy me. Therefore, I'm going to pour lava on your head.
It's almost like the outcome is as random as randomness.
Oh, now there's food for thought. Now, the men of Israel were pressed to exhaustion that day.
Yeah.
I guess. Because Saul had placed them under an oath, saying, "Let a curse fall on anyone who eats before evening, before I have full revenge on my enemies."
Jeez.
What a
Like,
dick.
they can't even fucking eat? That seems counterproductive to having a good working army, right?
But we're beneath a pomegranate tree.
Yeah, couldn't I just snag one real quick on the way?
What if a pomegranate just
fell in your
happened to
mouth?
fall into my pocket,
Right.
where I was peeling it?
Yeah, and there's like no bad
taking
guys
little
around right now.
pics.
Couldn't I just just a little bit?
Nobody saw me.
Right,
Whatever. Fuck Saul. Sorry, but fuck him. So no one ate anything all day, even though they had all found honeycomb on the ground in the forest.
Okay, just honeycomb just on the ground in the forest, huh?
Clearly it fell out of a tree.
I guess.
I mean, isn't that what happens?
I have never seen just honeycomb laying around in the forest, ever.
No?
No.
Well, you should apparently go to this great land where honeycombs just
Fall
lie
out
around.
of things and stuff and lay all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And pomegranates.
And pomegranates, yeah.
They didn't dare touch the honey because they all feared the oath they had taken. But Jonathan had not heard his father's command because, he was a stupid teenager.
Right, he was off killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he dipped the end of his stick into a piece of honeycomb and ate the honey.
Sure, why not?
After he had eaten it, he felt refreshed. Mm-hmm. But one of the men saw him and said, "Your father made the army take a strict oath that anyone who eats food today will be cursed." Hello?
Oh, man.
That is why everyone is weary and faint.
Yeah, I guess he's fucked now.
"Ugh, my father has made trouble for us all," Jonathan exclaimed. A command like that only hurts us. See how refreshed I am now that I've eaten this little bit of honey? If the men had been allowed to eat freely from the food they found among our enemies, think how many more Philistines we could have killed.
Right, yeah.
And that's the important part of this. We like killing them.
More importantly, too, here, like, I never have understood, like, there's multiple people throughout the Bible that have been able to curse people, and I'm like, why? How do they have that ability? What is that?
Do you have magic?
Right.
What is that magic thing?
I don't understand this whole fucking cursed magic bullshit.
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I don't understand. And the way the oaths are given and exchanged, it's like, oh, this was an oath that was given and can never be broken or else we'll die.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's so serious and ridiculous. And
yeah.
Can we not be reasonable and like maybe renegotiate this oath
never.
Or have a discussion amongst adults?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, that's stupid.
Yeah.
They chased and killed the Philistines all day from Michmash Paddywhack to Ajalon, growing more and more faint.
Okay.
That evening, they rushed for the battle plunder and butchered the sheep, goats, cattle, and calves. But they ate them without draining the blood.
That's against God's laws.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Someone reported to Saul.
Right?
Yeah, I bet they did. I would tattle on that because that one is well established.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to do that.
I mean, I wouldn't because I don't give a fuck.
No, I wouldn't tattle. I was kidding.
Right.
But I would definitely stand clear.
I'd be like, whoa, you guys are eating those things just like fresh.
Like willy-nilly. Like
that's
I
gross.
wouldn't partake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily rat you out, but you ain't hiding in my attic.
Right. That's some severe hunger.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have been not eating for an entire day and you're that hungry?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pigs. Ooh, look, the men are sinning against the Lord by eating meat that still has blood in it.
Mm-hmm.
That is very wrong, Saul said.
It is.
I mean,
according to God.
It has been for years.
It has.
So, I mean, they know better than that.
To be fair.
Find a large stone and roll it over here. Then go out among the troops and tell them, bring the cattle, sheep, and goats here to me. Kill them here and drain the blood before you eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with the blood still in it. Hello?
But are they getting a free pass on the ones that they did?
I have no idea. It seems like they shouldn't get a free pass.
Right.
But it sounds like they are getting a free pass.
Yeah.
So that night, all the troops brought their animals and slaughtered them there. Then Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first of the altars he built to the Lord.
Ah, okay.
Hey, go altar building. Yay.
Wait, didn't he just get in trouble for doing offerings to God?
But he's been fired, so he probably feels like, fuck it.
He's like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, right.
I'm not a king anymore. I'm just a guy. And this guy right here, who's got 2 thumbs and builds altars?
Right,
Me, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then Saul said, let's chase the Philistines all night and plunder them until sunrise. Whee! Let's destroy every last one of them.
Right. Why not?
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Want to do it?
Come
on, let's go.
Sounds like a plan, I guess.
Yeah. His men replied, well, do whatever you think is best. But the priest said, excuse me, let's ask God first.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, in canon, in Bible world.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you should.
You might want to run it by him. Yeah.
Yeah, because you never know which way he's going to feel.
Exactly.
So Saul asked God, hey, should we go after the Philistines? Will you help us to defeat them? But God made no reply that day. So I would say no.
Right. Yeah, let's just not do this.
If you did not get a sign
no reply,
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, no replies are not good for you.
Yeah, God only sends replies that you can very obviously know which way he's...
Yeah, like earthquakes totally mean...
Yeah.
It's
whichever thing you want, somehow you know what it means.
Yeah.
Then Saul said to the leaders, something's wrong. I want all my army commanders to come here. We must find out what sin was committed today.
Okay.
His son ate honey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. The whole fucking army's eating fucking blood-ridden meat, and the sin is going to be his son who didn't hear the oath is eating honey.
I bet anything.
That's going to be the fucking sin?
I bet you anything. He picked up sticks on the wrong fucking day.
That is bullshit.
That is bullshit.
And I'm sorry, but that's just not... That's not acceptable. I'm sorry.
Ignorance is no excuse.
It is when some motherfucker that's an Israelite is making up the goddamn oath and you didn't hear the fucking oath.
And it wasn't a God oath anyway. It was just dude said, don't do it.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. Laws have to be posted. Rules have to be posted.
Yeah.
Have to be heard to be, relevant.
I didn't get your fucking memo, Dad.
Right.
Ooh.
Now he's probably going to have to fucking kill him to appease God or some bullshit.
I bet he's going to have to kill his son for eating honey.
Wow.
This is stupid and I hate it.
I agree.
I vow by the name of the Lord, said Saul.
No, he's going to vow that he's going to...
Who rescued Israel, that the sinner will surely die.
Yep, there it is.
Yep, here it comes. Even if it is my own son, Jonathan.
Well, it is, buddy.
Yeah. But no one would tell him what the trouble was. Because who wants to say, oh, actually it was your son, my dude.
Right.
Then Saul said, Jonathan and I will stand over here, and all of you will stand over there. And the people responded to Saul, whatever you think is best.
Okay.
Then Saul said, he prayed, O Lord God of Israel, please show us who is guilty and who is innocent. Then they cast sacred lots. Sacred ones. They threw the bones.
Yeah, right. Because that's going to totally get you the answer.
They rolled a 20-sided die.
Right.
Dice.
Yeah.
No, dice is 2 or more.
It's a die if it's 1.
It's a 20D, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Jonathan and Saul were chosen as the guilty ones. Boom. And the people were declared innocent. Shit! Then Saul said, shit! Now cast lots again and choose between me and Jonathan.
Oh.
I mean, okay, Saul, you don't need to cast lots. You know if you did a sin.
Right.
Did you do a sin, Saul?
Right.
Saul, did you do a sin?
Right.
If the answer is no, then it was your son. Right. So then you turn to your son and you say, son.
What the fuck did you do, man?
You did a sin.
Right. What'd you do?
What was the sin? And then...
Although I'm not okay with this, though.
No. But I don't understand why is Saul going through these motions?
I don't know.
Maybe I did a sin that I didn't know about.
Right.
Well, then it wasn't a fucking sin, you dipshit.
Right.
And Jonathan was shown to be the guilty one.
Of course.
I told you this was going to happen. Oof. Tell me what you have done, Saul demanded of Jonathan. I tasted a little honey, Jonathan admitted. It was only a little bit on the end of my stick. Does that deserve death? Yes, Jonathan.
Oh my God.
Saul said. You must die. May God strike me and even kill me if you do not die for this.
Wow.
He is going to kill his own son.
Because he made a stupid vow.
That was pointless and made no fucking sense. That his son never heard.
Right.
And it wasn't even a God vow.
A decent God would not let this happen.
Right.
Or even give a shit.
Right.
Like, really? He ate honey?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Just common sense. This is stupid.
Get your shit together.
Like, am I missing something here? Like, come on. What? This is dumb, guys, right?
Yeah.
Why are we killing this guy? He just killed a bunch of people for us.
Yeah.
That, and now we're going to kill him because he ate some fucking honey?
I think that they just like to kill things. Oh, but the people broke in and said to Saul, Jonathan has won this great victory for Israel.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. Good, yeah.
Should he die? Far from it.
No, yeah.
As surely as the Lord lives, not one hair on his head will be touched. For God helped him do a great deed today.
Right.
So, God helped him, therefore he should live, but also there was a vow made to God, so he should die.
And God wasn't on their side because of this, according to, what they've said.
Yeah.
So, he was not he was not answering them about going to kill the rest of the Philistines.
Yeah.
So, apparently, God does want him dead.
Yeah.
At least based on his answer.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. But
we'll see.
Probably going to change his mind again because God's, weird.
So the people rescued Jonathan and he was not put to death.
Oh.
Well, good.
Huh.
This is a surprise, though.
But is this going to turn out bad for them? Like, is this going to lose them favor with God?
I feel like this is going to be bad.
I feel like that, too, because technically God... They're making Saul break a vow.
Yeah.
Which,
to God.
I mean, that one dude... Who was that one dude that killed his daughter? I can't remember his name now.
Oh, me neither.
But anyway, some dude had to kill his daughter because he made a fucking vow to God.
Yeah.
And now this guy's...
Oh, because he said, the first thing that comes out to greet me, and then she...
Right.
It was... Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
Right. It wasn't Samson, was it?
No, I don't think so.
It was somebody. I can't remember who it was now.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. Now I feel stupid, but...
Whatever.
I can remember the fucking 3 tribes, but not this. Come on.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then Saul called back the army from chasing the Philistines. Those fucking pagans. And the Philistines returned home.
Okay. Yeah.
The Philistines, they went.
They left.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when Saul had secured his grasp on Israel's throne... Oh, I guess he's still king.
I guess so.
The throne.
Yeah.
He fought against his enemies in every direction. Against Moab, Ammon, Edom, the kings of Zobah, and the Philistines. And wherever he turned, he was victorious.
But God had already installed somebody in his place because
That's what
there's a lot
said.
of fucking back and forth here about some really important shit.
Yeah, like
that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Who is the king, and who placed him there, and who and what?
And, like, Samuel's supposed to be, like, okay, Samuel's a prophet of God, right?
Yeah.
So he was wrong, which then wouldn't that make him not a prophet of God and a false prophet?
Yeah, I
and
would
then
think
he
so.
should die?
He should die.
Because he's a false prophet?
I would have been more okay with him dying than with Jonathan dying.
I'm just saying, like, if this is the way it's going, he was a false prophet, and he should die.
He should
according to the Bible.
Yeah.
So I'm really confused as to what's going on here because everything seems to be wrong.
They keep trying to lay this out for me, and as soon as I think I get it, then they give me another story, and it goes against everything that we just read.
Yeah, they keep changing the fucking rules out from under us.
Oh,
like,
how Christian. Okay. He performed great deeds and conquered the Amalekites, saving Israel from all those who had plundered them. Yay, go Saul.
Right.
Okay. Saul's sons included Jonathan, Ishbosheth, and Malchishua.
Okay.
He also had 2 daughters, Merab, who was older, and Michal. Saul's wife was Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz.
Okay.
The commander of Saul's army was Abner. Oh, that's neat.
That's neat.
Abner was the name of Marion's dad in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, interesting.
He was looking for Abner.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, hey, Abner had this piece. It means nothing. Do you have it? And Marion is like...
There's a lot of biblical names in the world. And I never really knew how many were biblical.
Right.
Like, especially now that we're reading this, I'm like, wow, there's...
Yeah, I had no idea.
A lot of names come from the Bible.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
So the commander of Saul's army was Abner, the son of Saul's uncle Ner.
Okay.
Saul's father Kish and Abner's father Ner were sons of Abiel. The Israelites fought constantly with the Philistines throughout Saul's lifetime. So whenever Saul observed a young man who was brave and strong, he drafted him into his army. The end.
Okay, like this book is called 1 Samuel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Samuel, I'm just not getting this.
I'm not either.
Like, what the fuck happened here?
Why isn't this book about Saul? Like, why isn't this book called Saul instead of 1 Samuel?
Right. And if it is about Samuel, something really weird just happened.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is exactly against what God had told Samuel.
Right.
Which, again, somebody should have died here.
Yeah.
Somebody. I mean,
somebody was supposed to die.
And God didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm a little perturbed and confused as to what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I agree with you 100%.
All right. Well, maybe it will clarify itself in tomorrow's podcast.
Do you think in 1 Samuel chapter 15 somebody will die?
I'm sure somebody will die. I don't know who, but somebody probably will die.
Do you think Jonathan will finally get in trouble for that honey?
I am not going to make any guesses as to who's going to die because this has been a really fucked up book so far as far as who's dying and who's not.
No, totally. I agree.
Or at least this chapter was for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll get into it tomorrow and we'll be reading 1 Samuel chapter 15.
Correct.
And
then on Saturday will be our Q&A, and on Sunday will be our weekly replay.
Wait, are we at the end of the week already? Damn.
Well, Friday is going to be, this is Thursday.
Sorry, I'm lost track of time apparently. So, all right, so we'll be doing that, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
No, I don't.
Saul's son, Jonathan, decided to sneak out of camp.
That's right. And then, then he was going to get killed because he ate honey.
He ate honey.
Right. That was really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, really dumb.
Yeah. The story, not the fact that he ate honey.
No, eating honey is just go for it, man.
He didn't know he wasn't supposed to.
It's honey. It's just laying there.
He never got the memo.
You should totally eat it. But, yeah, his dad was an asshole.
Yeah. And his dad was like, well, guess I got to kill you.
Right. Yeah. I
still don't.
It's so dumb. But then. They literally went against God
by eating meat that still had blood in it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not just that. They went against God by he broke his Saul broke his vow to God to not kill his son, Jonathan, because the people rose up and said, don't kill him, which was against God's will because it was a vow to God.
Yeah.
So the people rose up against God as well.
Right.
And what did God do? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
Which, I mean, if God is a logical being, and we know him not to be.
Right.
But if he's, an empathetic, logical being, he would realize, okay, you're a fucking fuckwit.
Sure, but the way they present him is that you have to hold to the
right.
The whatever.
Yeah.
The construct of what he's
God
created
may step in at the last minute and say, nah, that's okay.
Right.
But it's up to God. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But even then, they've said that God does not change his mind, which he does.
He does.
Like, all the fucking time.
All the fucking time. Clearly.
So, whatever.
In this case, he did.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So, whatever. And anyway, what are we doing today? Because I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I'll talk for an hour on this.
And we already did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because Saul is stupid and Samuel is stupid. Everybody's stupid.
Right. Definitely. So,
hate them all. Okay, so that was 1 Samuel chapter 14. Today we are doing 1 Samuel chapter 15.
All right, let's go do this.
Okay. Okay, 1 Samuel chapter 15.
Okay.
Saul's disobedience and rejection.
Oh, so wait, his disobedience and okay, all right. Yeah. I'm leaving room for God still punishing Saul for not whatever. Let's find out what happens.
Here's what I want to know in this: does the rejection mean that Saul gets rejected, or that Saul rejects something?
I don't know.
Saul's rejection, but
I'm a little dismayed. I'm still dismayed about what happened in the last chapter because
it's not that you want.
No, but consistency, damn it.
Consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, consistency.
It's not consistent,
it's
ever.
Not. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, nothing to be sorry about. It's the fucking Bible. It's dumb.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So
somehow, because I'm reading it, I'm delivering it, so I feel responsible.
Yeah.
One day, Samuel said to Saul, "It was the Lord who told me to anoint you as king of his people, Israel. Now listen to this message from the Lord." Samuel's always going on about the messages from the Lord, and then in the next paragraph, nothing.
Yeah, well, and he was wrong the last time. Mm-hmm. That was another thing. He was wrong the last time, and he should be dead too, so whatever.
He should be stoned.
Yeah.
"This is what the Lord of Heaven's armies has declared. I have decided to settle accounts with the nation of Amalek," the Amalekites, "for opposing Israel when they came from Egypt. Now go and completely destroy the entire Amalekite nation." Which, they were supposed to have done like hundreds of years ago when they first came in.
Sure.
"Men, women, children, babies, cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and donkeys."
Yeah, just kill them all.
Kill them all.
Right. Saul seems kind of reasonable, though. So I wonder if he's going to, buck the system here. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Saul's kind of like, I don't know, man.
No, Saul was going to kill his own kid.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, okay. So he's not that reasonable.
No.
All right.
He's stupid. They're all stupid.
Fair enough.
And I have a really hard time with the go kill children and babies right now.
Right, yeah.
Bad timing.
It really is.
It's never good timing to read that.
Never. Yeah.
So Saul mobilized his army at Telaim. There were 200,000 soldiers from Israel and 10,000 men from Judah.
We need to look up why they keep separating Judah.
I
really don't understand this.
That's one of the questions I have
right.
specifically written down.
There must be a good reason, but I don't know what the fuck it is.
I don't know. I guess Judah is not considered part of Israel.
But Judah was a tribe in Israel, right?
Yeah,
now all of a sudden it's Israel and Judah.
Israel and, Judah.
Right. Like, what the fuck?
And it's not even East Side Gang, because you remembered who East Side Gang was, and
right.
Judah wasn't one of them.
I'm not understanding, at all.
Yeah, I don't either. Then Saul and his army went to a town of the Amalekites and lay in wait in the valley. Saul sent this warning to the Kenites: "Move away from where the Amalekites live, or you will die with them."
Okay.
For you showed kindness to all the people of Israel when they came up from Egypt. So he's I'm not going to outright kill you and attack you unless you get in my fucking way.
That's kind of bold. They're trying to lay an ambush, and they're telling these other people that, did help them, but they're living with the Amalekites. So, nobody's going to be like, "Hey, guys, there's a fucking army outside the wall here. You might want to, do something about that."
Right. So the Kenites packed up and left, though.
Oh, well, I mean, but wouldn't that be suspicious, too?
Yeah. Yeah. A whole group of people just, overnight, they're like, "Bye."
Hey, Jeff, did you notice all the Kenites left? What the fuck are they doing?
What do you think what? Do they know something we don't know? Is there a hurricane coming?
What is going on, man?
Like, you know how animals, act up when a storm's coming.
You think we should be worried at all?
I don't know.
It's probably nothing.
Supply chain shortage.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Then Saul slaughtered the Amalekites from Havilah all the way to Shur, east of Egypt.
Well, fuck you, Jeff. You should have listened to those Kenites.
He captured Agag, the Amalekite king, but completely destroyed everyone else.
Okay. I'm sure they're going to destroy him, too. It's just they made him probably watch, and then now they're going to torture him and destroy him, probably.
You think they're going to take his right eye?
I don't know.
I know that was a different king, but still.
Yeah.
Saul and his men spared Agag's life and kept the best of the sheep and goats.
Wait a second.
On. That's not what they were instructed
Why
to
are they sparing the king at all? And why are they taking the sheep and goats?
The cattle, the fat calves, and the lambs. Everything, in fact, that appealed to them.
I mean, I don't agree with I don't agree with killing the people entirely either.
Yeah.
But like, I never have understood why they kill all the sheep, goats, and whatever. I'm like, you could just take those guys. Like, they aren't fighting you, for fuck's sake.
Right.
It's just fucking livestock.
Yeah. And take the babies too, for that matter.
I mean, whatever.
They destroyed only what was worthless or of poor quality, but that is not what they were instructed to do. Right. They totally looted.
Yeah.
Then the Lord said to Samuel, I am sorry that I ever made Saul king, for he has not been loyal to me and has refused to obey my command.
I mean, he did that last chapter, but you didn't say shit, God.
Yeah. So. Or if you did, your guys didn't write it down.
Right. Also, Samuel falsely prophesied.
Yeah.
So
reminder, hey God, remember?
You just choose to enact stuff when you feel like it, apparently. So.
Yeah. Samuel was so deeply moved when he heard this that he cried out to the Lord all night.
All right, I'm going to this other tent, dude. You're just too much.
Do you think that he cried out joy? Or do you think that he cried out like, oh no, don't take Saul?
I don't think he was worried about Saul. He was probably just worried about himself and people he cared. Fuck knows. I don't know.
I mean, why is Samuel doesn't even like Saul, right?
I don't know.
It's not clear, but it's my guess that he doesn't like Saul.
Right. No, it would be my guess as well that he doesn't like Saul. I think this is his equivalent of falling on his face in front of God. He's offering up all the whininess before God tells him what he needs to do.
He's like, it's okay that you don't like Saul, but you still like me though, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Early the next morning, Samuel went to find Saul. Someone told him, Saul went to the town of Carmel to set up a monument to himself.
Oh, damn. Now he's building an idol
bold.
and stuff? What?
That's so bold.
Damn.
Then he went on to Gilgal. Could you imagine, like, I just can't imagine, like...
Right there, guys. Build a monument to me.
Yeah, I really like my axe just then.
Right,
so,
yeah, it was good stuff.
I was so good just then, right?
Yeah, totally. And I definitely need a monument.
Hey, husband. I'm kind of awesome, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not building you a fucking monument, though.
How about a shrine?
Nope, not a shrine either.
No. A little tiny idol?
You got a room with a desk in it, okay?
It's true, I do.
That's the extent of it. So.
Built me an office.
Yeah, that's it.
What if you came in one day and there were pictures of me all over the wall?
I'd have some questions, I think.
And I was like, but I wrote some good stuff today. My man, I was on fire.
Yeah.
And I just had to build myself a monument.
Right.
When Samuel finally found him, Saul greeted him cheerfully. May the Lord bless you, he said. I've carried out the Lord's command.
Did you now?
He's all, what you think about that?
Right.
Then what is all the bleating of sheep and goats and the lowing of cattle I hear? Saul demanded.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Right. Yeah.
It's true that the army spared the best of the sheep, goats, and cattle, Saul admitted, but they are going to sacrifice them to the Lord your God. Okay. You think that was a asterisk tacked on at the last minute?
He's like, I'm saving my ass now.
Yep.
I guess.
We've destroyed everything else. Then Samuel said to Saul, stop.
Okay.
Listen to what the Lord told me last night.
Yeah.
What did he tell you? Saul asked. And Samuel told him, although you may think little of yourself, are you not the leader of the tribes of Israel? The Lord has anointed you king of Israel. And the Lord sent you on a mission and told you, Go and completely destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, until they are all dead.
I'm sorry, but weren't you fuckers the same people that fired me last week?
Right? That's what I would say. Saul continues speaking to Samuel continues speaking to Saul.
Right.
Why haven't you obeyed the Lord? Why did you rush for the plunder and do what was evil in the Lord's sight?
Evil, Jesus.
I know.
The evil part to me was killing the people, but
right?
not taking the shit.
Yeah.
Like, taking the shit makes sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you disobeyed, but I would have done it, probably.
Yeah, I mean, just, to me, calling it evil is like, okay, whatever. There's one hell of a screwed up sense of right and wrong.
Your morality code is questionable, my man.
Yeah.
But I did obey the Lord, Saul insisted. I carried out the mission he gave me. I brought back King Agag, but I destroyed everyone else.
You were supposed to destroy everybody, including the king.
Then my troops brought in the best of the sheep, goats, cattle, and plunder to sacrifice to the Lord your God in Gilgal.
Look, I totally get it. He did this wrong, but
I don't think he's
at the
evil.
same time, it's not evil.
He clearly thinks that he's obeying correctly.
Right. So, like, don't you be like, okay, dude, we need to have a discussion.
Like, all means all.
Right. Yeah, like, there is no leeway here.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
God is strict, and clearly you didn't know.
And if God is all-knowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he know that, A, Saul's going to do this, and B, why doesn't he know that these things are going to not happen? Like, he's supposed to know shit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know anything about what's going to happen or when it happens.
Right.
What he was doing it for. He doesn't even know what his mind is thinking about. Maybe he was actually planning on sacrificing them to God. And then what? He did destroy everything, right?
Yeah.
So,
you didn't tell me I have to destroy it immediately.
Right.
Like, I thought I'll destroy everything except for the good stuff that I will then destroy by praising God.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like, we did this for you, God.
Again, I think this is just Samuel hating on Saul.
Yeah. But Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord, your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice?
I honestly don't know the answer to that exactly.
It depends.
Because it just,
depends on the day of the fucking week.
Right. Which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a mouse running across the floor in front of you, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be any number of goddamn things.
And, under normal circumstances, I would think that maybe burnt offerings and sacrifices wouldn't be against listening to his voice.
Right. Yeah.
Like, the two should be they should go hand in hand. Listen. This is Samuel still talking.
Okay.
Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than offering the fat of rams.
I guess we know that now.
Okay. Well, you never said that in the fucking 10 Commandments early on.
Yeah, where's that rule at?
Yeah. Sometimes being human, there's going to be conflicts of interest. And so, all things being equal, what it comes down to, if you have to pick, always pick obedience over. So, if you have to do something at the same time that you have to do sacrifices, but I've told you to do this other thing, but oh my God, it goes against the sacrifices that you are also supposed to do on this day.
Right.
Pick obedience.
I guess. Okay.
I mean,
whatever.
Who knew?
Right.
I didn't know.
I think this is really difficult to say because they've been through some really shitty leadership.
Yeah.
And they're just this. The
rules weren't clear.
Right. And the rules haven't been clear for a long goddamn time.
The beginning.
Right. But maybe the most clear they were was right around the time of when Moses died. Right.
Yeah.
They had spelled them all out through Leviticus and
singing them again.
Whatever.
And Joshua's singing them again.
Right.
And blah blah blah.
Yeah, so I mean, they'd spelled everything out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They still fucked up at that point, and now we've got hundreds of years down the road, like you said, and of course they're fucking up. They haven't had good leadership. They don't know what the fucking rules are exactly.
God hasn't been in touch.
Yeah, God's MIA, man. So, what the fuck?
Some of these guys are just doing the best they fucking can.
Yeah.
And
even the people, the last chapter, they rebelled against God by saying, no, don't kill him.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, man. You don't say that to God. That's not what you do.
In God in the Bible.
Right. And they also ate blood. That also is not supposed to be done.
Right.
They did all kinds of bad shit.
Yeah. How could you know, which time you're going to get punished?
Right.
Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft. And stubbornness is as bad as worshipping idols.
Did you know witchcraft is simple? I didn't know that.
It's not simple.
I've never...
Sinful.
Oh, sinful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said simple.
Sinful.
Ah.
Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft. And stubbornness is as bad as worshipping idols.
Ah, okay.
Those are equivalent.
Yeah.
Because God has no understanding of human equivalency codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, a pebble is as big as a mountain.
Right.
Like, is it though?
And that army has enough people to fill the sand on the beach.
Yeah, because you can't
count.
Because
math is bad.
Yeah, because we didn't make calculators yet. And using your fingers to count apparently wasn't invented either.
Do they have abacuses yet?
I don't know. If they did, they didn't bring them that day.
Right, yeah.
So because you have rejected the command of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. I mean, if you were Saul, wouldn't you be like, yeah, I heard that story already.
Right.
Remember I was fired? Whatevs. Then Saul admitted to Samuel, yes, I have sinned. I have disobeyed your instructions and the Lord's command, for I was afraid of the people and did what they demanded. Okay, now Saul's back. Saul is being weaselly now instead of just like...
Yeah, you should have stuck to your guns if you're going to stick to your guns.
Yeah.
So...
If you are going to say something like what you said, you need to suddenly believe it with all your heart if you didn't already.
Right. But I don't really understand what kind of power Samuel has at this point, though.
I don't either.
Because it doesn't seem like he has a lot of power.
He's in touch with God. He's a prophet.
But still.
What?
Other than the God shit, I don't understand what power he has. And
the God shit is it.
Right.
That's it.
I get it, okay?
He's got the ephod.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But now... continues Saul.
Yeah.
Please forgive my sin and come back with me so I may worship the Lord.
Okay.
But Samuel replied, I will not go back with you. Since you have rejected the Lord's command, he has rejected you as king of Israel. And Saul's like, yeah, you literally just said that, bro.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying...
And now?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, man?
I'm fired. Yes, I know. Heard that story. Okay, next.
Right. Yeah.
As Samuel turned to go, Saul tried to hold him back and tore the hem of his robe. And Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to someone else, one who is better than you. And he who is the glory of Israel will not lie, nor will he change his mind, for he is not human that he should change his mind. Well, if he's not human, is he a fucking goat?
No, we're just talking about God. God's going to be the new leader.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Then why wasn't he already there already?
Right.
He on purpose left these fuckers to flounder.
Right.
And then he's like, never mind, I'll just do it
let's be honest,
myself.
he already did change his mind.
Yeah.
So you already lied there.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever.
Okay. Then Saul pleaded again, I know I have sinned, but please at least honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel by coming back with me so that I may worship the Lord your God.
Okay.
So he's basically like...
pleading.
Yeah, like, don't leave me out in the dirt.
Right.
Jesus. So Samuel finally agreed and went back with him, and Saul worshipped the Lord. So, let me get this right. Samuel changed his mind?
Right. Which would indicate that God changed his mind.
Right.
Because this is a decree from God, right?
Yeah.
At least I'm assuming.
Yeah. Then Samuel said, bring King Agag to me. Agag arrived full of hope, for he thought, surely the worst is over and I've been spared.
Nope, you're going to die, buddy.
I'm pretty sure he's about to die.
Yeah.
But Samuel said, as your sword has killed the sons of many mothers, now your mothers will be childless. And Samuel cut Agag to pieces before the Lord at Gilgal.
Jesus.
Because just...
they love cutting things into pieces. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they do. They are nasty fucks.
Right, yeah.
They either rape people or they cut them into pieces.
Yeah.
That's all they're good for.
Right.
Then Samuel went home to Ramah, and Saul returned to his house at Gibeah of Saul. So that would be like wife went home to house of wife.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, what? Samuel never went to meet with Saul again. That'll show him.
Oh, yeah.
But he mourned constantly for him.
Mourned? What is he mourning exactly? That he's not king?
He's not king. And
he's still alive, right? Like, they didn't kill Saul.
Yeah, but he's not in God's favor anymore. And that's sad.
But he's still alive, right?
He's still alive, yeah. And the Lord was sorry he had ever made Saul king of Israel. The Lord was sorry,
huh?
Yeah. He was sorry he'd ever done that. The end.
So, again, God didn't know that this guy was going to fail.
Apparently.
The guy that he put in charge of all of his people, he didn't know he was going to fail.
He has regrets that he did this thing.
I've said this before, but I don't see the powerfulness of God. I don't see this omniscient being as being anything other than petty and really just dumb.
Narcissistic, dumb, easily swayed.
Right, yeah. I don't get it.
A micromanager or completely absent.
Yeah.
Like completely man-like, if I'm being honest.
Sure, yeah.
because men are like that generally.
Be honest,
speaking.
that's who it was.
Yeah.
The image is after a man, so
yeah.
like that is exactly what it is.
I know.
We built God as God is us. God is a man. So that is exactly what he is.
The whole thing though just makes me really frustrated because reading the Bible, you're supposed to like read the Bible and open your heart and you're gonna see and the Lord's gonna change you, and I'm like, but how though?
Yeah.
Where's the magical happy pretty bit where he changes my heart?
Well, that's what everybody says. It's when you get to the New Testament shit.
But if I've gone this far and it hasn't already happened,
right?
I have zero incentive. If I'm not doing this podcast, I have zero incentive to be like, maybe next chapter.
Right.
Maybe next chapter. Maybe next chapter. Maybe next chapter.
Yeah. No.
No.
I don't think you can't wash away all of this shit.
No.
With the New Testament, you just can't.
No.
You are still God. God is God. Jesus is God. God is Jesus. Whatever the fuck the situation is, they're one and the same, or three of the same, or three of the like, or whatever. I don't fucking care.
Right.
But there's still an asshole up there that did all this shit, one way or the other. Well, and I don't like you.
Think of this too. We're 9 books in. We've already seen. I think we're on our 3rd iteration of what God is.
Yeah. No. It's rewritten every goddamn chapter almost.
He's a new guy. By this average, it's every 3 chapters. There's a new God.
Right.
And Yahweh's different.
Yeah, he's either more lenient this time or more vindictive that time, or he makes up a new rule here or not there. Or I just can't keep track of where he's at all the time anymore.
I'm not with you. I
don't really care, but
I'm not with you, man.
I'm not either. Like
I'm not convinced.
It's like the boss that just makes shit up as a rule just because they want it that day. Like, well, you're not supposed to file that there, and I'm going to write you up for it. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Or like, I really like when I worked for a small privately owned company. There was a staff of 5, 2 of which were the fucking co-owners of the company, right?
Yeah.
And so I go in and I'm like, do we get this holiday off? And it was a federal holiday. And she goes, I'll have to check the handbook.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why do you have... You're the boss. You get to
Not
fucking
just the
decide.
Boss, you're the fucking owner.
You're the owner. You're the owner of the company.
Right.
You and your husband could be like, yeah, we're closed Friday.
Right.
Or, yeah, we're taking this holiday out. You got to consult your fucking hand. You just didn't want to say yes or no on the spot, but you couldn't say, let me talk to my husband and find out what we plan to do.
Right.
And so every year, like, Black Friday was always a thing because I had to know, like, if you guys are open normally on this day, then I need to take a vacation day. But if you're closed, then it's just a paid holiday.
Yeah.
So, but every year, like, it went back and forth. Every year they couldn't decide if they were normally open, and so they had to charge me a vacation day. And I'm just like, y'all are fucks.
Right.
You own this company.
Yeah.
There's 5 people.
Yep.
Why? Just
make
that's
a decision.
God. Yeah. Just say, here's how we're doing this year, and I'm not sure it'll always be like this.
Right.
We're gonna
just be honest about it, or whatever. Just tell us.
But don't hide behind policy. You are the policy, bitch.
Right.
Makes no fucking sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've ranted on enough about work.
God is a bad manager. That's all I'm saying.
That is true. All right, so that was Samuel, First Samuel, chapter 15.
Samuel, chapter 15.
And tomorrow we're doing our Q&A, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then on Sunday we'll do our weekly replay.
And then Monday we'll be back with First
Samuel, chapter 16.
All right, we will see you guys tomorrow for our Q&A.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
It's Saturday, Q&A.
Awesome. I love Q&As.
I do too. And once again, I caught myself saying, oh my God, this is so interesting. I can't wait to tell you about this stuff.
Always love learning the little shit that we find about what we just read about. Because oftentimes I'm more interested in that than I am about the fucking Bible.
Yeah.
So
the trivia of history.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. So what are we, you got a breakdown of what we're talking about? I had a breakdown just now of fucking words, but do you have something to tell us what we're going over today?
Let me rephrase that for you.
Yeah, please. I didn't need that. Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, that.
We had a specific question. Why is the tribe of Judah differentiated from Israel?
Yeah, that one was bugging me.
I know. And then we thought, like, are we crazy? Like, what is happening? Did we miss something? Okay, I have an answer for that.
Okay, cool.
And we're also going to talk a little bit about that King Nahash that wanted to stab people's right eye out.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't get enough of him, and I was like, what is his fucking deal?
Got it. All right, so Nahash and Judah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's go do this.
Let's. Okay, so I know that your original question was purely about tribe of Judah being differentiated from Israel.
Right.
But I want to start with Nahash first because A is shorter and B, while it's interesting, it's not entirely a satisfactory thing.
Oh,
so it's just merely like interesting.
So you're saving the good shit for last?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay.
That's smart. That's smart. Like if you want to keep people listening, you got to say that good shit for the end, right?
That wasn't necessarily my terms or my idea. Like I just wanted to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Like
all right.
Let me get to the good stuff.
Get the worst first.
Yeah. I got to eat my vegetables or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you remember Nahash? He was like, I'm going to poke all y'all's right eye out.
Yeah.
And they were like, but don't though. And then he was like, I'll give you a little bit of time to beg somebody to come help you.
Right.
And then,
yeah, that was the stupidest shit ever.
Yeah. And then you can either be our slaves
right.
or I'm going to poke your fucking right eye out. And they were
no, they were going to be their slaves and poke their fucking right eye out. Otherwise, they were going to kill them, I think.
That's right. Yeah, I had that mixed up.
That's all right.
You're right. I was just trying to do like a real quick like refresher of what that was about. Okay, so I don't know if you recall, but there was a parentheses voice in that little section. And it was like, Nahash had been doing this to nations, blah, 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 blah. So it wasn't just them that he was doing it to. I should have probably copied down the exact whatever he said, but it was something to that effect, okay?
Yeah.
To make us understand that Nahash was doing this left and right all over the country.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
So the strangely cruel terms that he gave were a usual practice. Like, historians agree that, yeah, that was happening. And the thing is, though, they discovered more about this when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I'm like, oh, we are so reading that when we're done with the Bible.
Yeah, well, I mean, that definitely.
Among
other things.
I know. It's just, like, every time the Dead Sea Scrolls come up and how it's like, you're missing part of the story.
I remember that being so interesting when I was, like, it was maybe when I was in high school
yeah,
or,
it was
I don't
when
know.
I was in high school, so it would have been, like, middle school for you, maybe.
Sure.
But
I remember being, like, so intrigued by that, like, wow, they found,
like
stuff from that time?
Yeah, I was just blown away. I couldn't, like, my mind was exploding. And I didn't even know anything about the Bible.
Right, me either. Yeah, but it was
just the history of it was so intriguing. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
You found fucking thousands-year-old scrolls in a goddamn cave stuff somewhere?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And I didn't even at the time understand the controversy over whether or not it should be included in the Bible.
Right,
like,
right.
I had no idea. I was like, wait, there's Bible things missing?
That was maybe my first exposure to understanding that there were things that were Bible but not Bible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this shit?
Exactly. Like, I just always thought, like, oh, the Bible's the Bible. What?
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
I never knew that before.
Yeah. So I'm just really excited about whenever we do dive into the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Sure. Yeah.
So there was an introductory passage preceding the narrative about Nahash that was found in the copy of the books of Samuel among the scrolls that were found with the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to read this instead of summarizing it. It's a short paragraph just to, like, give you guys an idea of what it says.
Okay. Yeah.
Nahash, king of Ammonites, would put hard pressure on the descendants of Gad and the descendants of Reuben and would gouge everyone's right eye out. But no rescuer would be provided for Israel, and there was not left anyone among the children of Israel in the Jordan whose right eye Nahash, the king of Ammonites, did not gouge out. But behold, 7,000 men escaped the power of the Ammonites, and they arrived at Jabesh Gilead. About a month later, Nahash the Ammonite went up and besieged Jabesh Gilead.
Huh. Okay. I wondered about that. And the reason I wondered about that is because at some point earlier, they had said that they had gouged out their eyes.
Yes.
And then this time they were saying that he's going to gouge out their eyes and then didn't because they won the battle.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand what is that?
It seemed like
that's much more clear. That makes a lot. Why didn't they include that in the fucking Bible?
It seemed like Nahash came out of nowhere. Like,
right.
Oh, what? Who's this guy?
Yeah, no, that actually provides clarity.
Exactly. Like he had been around. So the way that scholars summarize this little passage that I just read, in other words, Nahash had conquered the tribal lands of Gad and Reuben.
Yeah.
And a portion of the population had fled from him to Jabesh Gilead. And that's why he laid siege to it.
Got it.
So he didn't just like pop up overnight and be like, I think I'm going to attack them.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
A lot more sense.
Yes. And I just thought, oh my God, that is so interesting.
And it explains, it was just a nagging thing in the back of my mind about the people that had already lost their eyes versus this thing that happened. And it occurred to me, but it didn't, I was like, whatever. It's the fucking Bible. It's, whatever. It was
too esoteric to chase down that portion. And, the eye gouging thing wasn't what I was looking up particularly.
Sure.
I just was like, hey, you know what? We've never heard of this guy except for in this one bit where he comes out of nowhere. I'm curious about him.
Right.
And I just, on a lark, looked him up.
Well, because we find some of our best stories from just looking up these random names.
Exactly.
And be like, who's this?
What? Did he do a thing?
Right.
Yeah. And I guess he was like a guy that did the things and warred on them.
Well, I'm glad you looked that up. Because,
Me too.
It does lend a lot of clarity to the story that we were reading. So
right. They had been warring him for ages.
Right.
Which we knew that they had been warring the Ammonites and the Amalekites. We knew that. But this made them more of a people over there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of just this random blodge of a group.
Right. What's a blodge exactly?
It's a flump.
Yeah, it's completely clear now. I know. I totally know what a flump is.
It's a snarfblat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting clearer by the minute.
If you have watched Little Mermaid, you know actually what a snarfblat is.
I have watched it, but I don't remember that bit.
Oh my God! At the very beginning of The Little Mermaid, she's combing her hair with a fork, and she's like, "What is this?" And the seagull tells her it's a snarfblat.
Ah.
Yeah, because he makes up shit and passes it up. Because he's totally a Republican.
Right.
He's like, I know the answer to that question, and makes up one so that he can then say that, see, I knew the answer.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, so now let's go on to the tribe of Judah.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Part of this is going to be hard because it gets into the chapters we haven't read yet that we're about to read.
Okay.
So I had to, stop myself from reading too far ahead.
Right.
But the tribes of Judah and Benjamin did not agree at all on proposed kings.
Okay.
Not the idea of kings, but who should be king.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so, as a result, they totally split.
I have a question, though. Mm-hmm. Why is the tribe of Benjamin so powerful that they were strong enough to choose a king after all the shit that happened with the tribe of Benjamin?
It's not that they were powerful. It's that the northern 10 tribes, including Benjamin, remained one people.
Okay.
And Benjamin was the closest to Judah in the layout.
Got it.
And so they were the ones that argued the most vehemently.
Got it.
So
they became their own little nation state, basically.
Yeah, so the tribe of Judah became a kingdom of its own. And throughout history, they actually had two different kings. Kind of like when the Pope split from Rome and went to Constantinople. Yeah. And there were two popes.
Right.
And it's which one is the real one?
Yeah.
And it's neither or both.
Right.
Well, that's kind of how this was. They're all Israelites, but Judah became the kingdom of Judah.
That's interesting that God stayed silent on that whole matter.
Right, isn't it?
I mean, to me it's interesting because God apparently picks kings.
Yeah.
And he just let there be two kings, apparently.
He did.
Didn't care.
Well, people help themselves, etc. God's plan, I don't know. I'm not Christian, so I don't understand.
God's not real,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get into a little bit of a history lesson here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you know how as we go through, we learn about the different things that were actually happening in the world at that time?
Yeah.
So also it relates to different portions of the Bible as how they're grouped.
Okay.
The Deuteronomistic history and all that, right? Yeah. There's a thing called the United Monarchy.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the name given to the united Israelite kingdom of Israel and Judah during the reigns of Saul, David, and Solomon.
So this is like a, even though they had different kings, they kind of backed each other type thing?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
You can see why, though, it was kind of dicey as far as I just said Saul, David, and Solomon. We're only in Saul.
Right. Yeah,
which is
the
book of Samuel.
Right. But now we know why it's still Samuel, because, Saul got fired.
Right.
So.
Right. Somewhere between, or all through 1047 and 930 BCE.
Okay.
The country split into two kingdoms. The kingdom of Israel, including the cities of Shechem and Samaria in the north, and the kingdom of Judah, containing Jerusalem in the south.
Okay.
And those dates are like not nailed in stone, but generally speaking, they agree that about 930 BCE is when that happened.
Okay.
The split. Okay.
Yeah.
David, whom we will not meet till I think the next couple chapters, or even maybe 2 Samuel. I'm not sure.
Right.
He's coming up shortly.
Sure.
Okay. And we've heard of like David and Goliath.
Oh, this David.
Yeah, that David.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
He lived during the Iron period. So we are reaching the end of the Bronze Age, I guess.
Right. We're going into the Iron Age.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And that would suggest that he was not, given the time period, it would suggest that he was not a king of a centralized kingdom, but rather a chieftain over a small polity in Judah.
Huh.
And the different kings that they had throughout were either in the north with Benjamin,
right,
and all them,
yep,
or in the south with Judah.
Got it.
And so that kept them at war with each other.
Oh, so they were warring
themselves.
They were warring with each other.
Yes.
Wow.
For ages.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, that's where I didn't get into this a lot because, like I said, I had to cut myself off.
Sure.
Apparently, that's where the terms Samaritan came from because they were considered to not be fully Israelites.
Okay.
Like they were only half.
Okay.
Because they were cut off.
And what, Good Samaritan is like somebody they consider, oh, you're all right.
No.
Or what?
A Samaritan is a group of people. It's a peoples.
Okay.
And the Good Samaritan, we're going to get into that story. I think that's a New Testament story.
Oh, okay.
But the Samaritans were supposed to be at odds with the Jews. But the Good Samaritan is, there was a Jew who had fallen in the street, and a Samaritan came over and helped him up.
Oh, okay.
He was a Good Samaritan. And
Got it.
we now use that term to mean a good neighbor.
Right. But it becomes clear that it was somebody they thought poorly of that
yes.
did something good.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it was used as a disparaging
right
during this time.
Right.
So and I don't know why I know that Bible story, but it does kind of
I didn't even know that Good Samaritan was tied to the Bible until you brought up Samaritan, and I was like, well, is that part of the Bible?
Yep.
And I guess maybe
that's
it is.
Where that term comes from.
Okay.
It's funny because it's kind of like that one poem, a tall fence a good neighbor makes. You've heard of that poem before?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard that saying before.
It's from a poem, I forget, Frost Emerson, one of those great American poets,
right.
Whatever. And so people take just that one term and think that means, see, we all need to have our boundaries and our tall fences, and then we can be good neighbors. But actually, that's one line from the poem, which is entirely opposite to that, which is saying, we built all these walls, but aren't we good neighbors?
Right.
Even though we're cut off from each other, blah, blah, blah. It's just another example of how we have a phrase that we use that is actually quite contrary to where it came from, because people just repeat these things ignorantly.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could still, the stuff that was made up last century, we could go on a
stuff that was made up last Tuesday.
Right, yeah.
Yes. So Iron Period we're in, and so he was a chieftain over a small polity in Judah, which was disconnected from the Israelite tribes of the northern kingdom. Okay, so when we get into David, the Bible is going to have us thinking like he is the king of the Israelites.
But he's not.
He is, but he isn't.
Right.
Not all the Israelites are on board with this.
He's a king of some of the Israelites, but not the other Israelites.
He's a king of the smaller portion of them. The not viewed as good ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, archaeologists fiercely debate this still today. And scholars are divided among those who support the historicity of the biblical narrative.
Okay.
Which is, what we were just talking about, versus those who completely deny the existence of the united monarchy. And versus those who support its existence but believe that the Bible contains theological exaggerations.
Got it. Okay.
So
the Bible exaggerates?
Right?
No way.
So, but what that is saying is that there's a question among some scholars, as to whether or not they were ever actually united.
Got it. So they might have been fighting the whole time. Or didn't actually split. Or, well, I guess they did split, but...
Well, some say, no, that split never happened. Okay. And others say, no, that split totally fucking happened.
Got it.
And I would tend to believe that because they were a warring bunch of fuckers.
Yeah, they really seem like they loved killing people.
They loved killing each other.
Yeah, that too.
And, I mean, think about how we came to the terms East Side and West Side gang.
Right.
Right? That was the first split. You know?
Yeah.
Not even the first split, but the first one where we actually named opposite sides.
Well, and they apparently got left out there to die when they got attacked by this Nahash guy.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I totally, if I had to pick, I have no, obviously, facts to base one or the other, but if I had to pick a side, I would say that, yeah, they totally were always separated. But the Bible downplays it.
Got it.
Because they're all Israelites. They're the kingdom of Israel.
Right. We got to play it like God didn't do anything wrong and didn't... if there's two sides, then God has to pick one.
Yes.
And if we don't want to pick one, we have to pretend like there's not two sides, right?
Yeah. Or that it was one of those times when the two brothers were fighting.
Right.
But they eventually made up because
Yeah.
Yeah. They just downplay it.
Right.
So according to the biblical account, the united monarchy... where they're, like one nation, was formed by a large popular expression in favor of introducing a king to rule over the decentralized Israelite Confederacy, which, we know that. That's what we read.
Yeah.
So, increasing pressure from the Philistines and other neighboring peoples is what forced them to unite as a state after the anointing of Saul by Samuel.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, even if they were at war, they had to... be like, okay, but we are still Israelites, and let's kill them before we kill each other.
Right, this is a higher precedent than fighting each other.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And, I mean, the Bible did kind of get into that, actually.
Yeah, but they didn't spell it out.
They spelled out the part where they were united in getting into it with the Philistines.
Yes.
But they did not spell out the fact that... But they were not happy with each other.
They left out the backstory.
Yeah. And Israel and Judah are portrayed in later sources, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, etc., as a quite distinct kingdoms. Completely separate.
Interesting.
So we thought maybe it was just like a weird translation or like a misreading of something somewhere, or that we didn't get it. And it turns out, no. That was a great, excellent question, because... Judah was entirely separate from the rest of the fucking Israelite countries.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And even maybe they've, rewritten it enough to where they've tried to dull this down to make it seem like they weren't fighting at all. It wasn't that
big a deal.
Right.
Maybe they fought a little bit, but Yeah. So can you see why I was like... Just doesn't fit that
narrative of God very well.
It really does not. But you can see why I was really excited to get into that today.
Yeah. I think that these stories that come up that are out there, like the Dead Sea Scroll stuff and things that are out there in story form but not in the Bible, that are in other texts that are still available, I feel like they're not in there because they don't work with God.
Well,
like, God is not compatible with these other stories.
It's true.
And they have to if they want to keep a religion, they have to have this compatible story.
There was an entire book of the Bible removed by, I think, King James, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
There was an entire book removed because it had mention of Jesus with a wife and children, and that did not fit their narrative of him as a spiritual son of God, like not human.
He's basically God, but the human form.
Yeah.
Right.
And that painted him as merely human, and that would threaten the power of the church over people.
I'm betting in a more original text that Jesus might have been more of just a prophet than anything else. Like a serious prophet, but a prophet nonetheless.
Well, I mean, that's the way the Jewish view him as he was just a prophet.
Sure.
He existed. He's a great dude, but he was just a prophet.
Right.
And there are, I forget if it's the same book that was removed or if it's like a different book where it was mentioned that his wife was actually on the board of his disciples.
Oh, okay.
And that could
was it Mary Magdalene?
It might have been.
Okay.
Might have been. That tracks. But I don't know for sure.
Right,
so,
yeah.
I don't want to get in over my head.
Yeah,
but
we're stretching here for our knowledge here.
Yeah. But they had to remove that because that would have shown that women did hold leadership positions in the time of Jesus.
Right.
And they could not have that.
Of course not. Yeah, you got to subjugate those women.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's a very important thing. Yeah.
Which is funny because, like, I just saw somebody shared a tweet that somebody had, tweeted. They had screenshot this, and the original tweet was this woman saying that sometimes she gets sad because her husband gets all of her paycheck and has to give her permission to spend her own money that she earns, but we are put here to serve our men and to subjugate ourselves. She used this term, subjugate ourselves to them. So
I can't imagine speaking in those terms. Like, I just can't imagine that.
I have to subjugate myself to you.
I mean, we have you and I have an agreement that we share all expenses and share all purchases, and we talk about all of our things, but even if we didn't do that and we had separate money, I can't imagine saying, I'm getting all your money and I'm going to take care of it and you're just going to work for me.
Like, my best friend and her husband, they both work full time and they both have separate accounts and separate credit cards and everything.
Right.
But they split up who pays for what bills and, who takes care of what. And they are in conversation about these things regularly. And it's not that he gets her money or he takes her money.
Right.
Because she, for quite some time was making more money than he was. So it would, I'm sorry, what? Excuse you?
Right.
So, and they're older millennials, so like this younger generation, more and more women, I'm so glad to see, are like taking control of their own finances, not in a I'll be in charge of the whole thing kind of way, but just in a I can do this myself, thank you.
Yeah. No,
and it makes for a better partnership.
Definitely.
I think.
I mean, we had a lot of discussions about it early on in our marriage about how we were going to handle this and what was best and all that.
Well, because when we were both working full time, you made more money than I did.
Right.
But you brought home less than I did because you were paying for insurance.
Right.
So what I brought home was actually more than what you brought home.
Yeah.
But it was really good partnership because we both got to feel like we were equally contributing.
Right.
And it all went into the same account.
Yeah.
Whereas, the younger generation, they seem to keep their accounts very separate.
Right.
Which, whatever works.
Yeah, do what you got to do, that's fine.
I mean, we need like every penny added up together to be able to pay things.
Right,
so
yeah.
That would never work for us, but more power to those who, I don't know how we got off on this other than.
I was going to say, we've been talking for 5 minutes about finances.
Well, it's less about finances and just more about a partnership. And not just a partnership between a husband and wife, but a partnership between anybody in any relationship ever. You should be equal. Nobody should subjugate themselves.
Right.
And if you find yourself in a situation where you are giving up your rights or your monies to your partner, whether they are same sex or otherwise, not, you need to seriously question what you're wanting out of your life and your situation.
Right. Yeah. So, I agree.
There's that.
So that's about all we had today then?
Yes. Sorry. That's all we I was just so psyched that I'm like.
Right. No, I got you.
Sorry.
All right. So we learned about Nahash and Judas today.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Not Judas. Judah.
I said Judah, I thought.
Well,
I think I moved on to something. Yeah, I slurred it. So.
Yeah.
But I meant to say Judah.
Yeah, Judah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But tomorrow is going to be our what do we call
Weekly
it?
replay.
Weekly replay, And
then Monday we will be back for 1 Samuel chapter 16.
Yep. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.